thank you all for coming. I know you got some busy schedules. Just something that we thought we'd start rolling out this year with getting all the advisors together. We do recognize how hard a job being an advisor is. It's, I would say it's probably the unsung hero award for the dealership. Just to kind of go through the meeting a little bit, we're going to go through just some ideas, some best practices. We've got Perry's going to do some stuff on technology. We're going to kind of walk through the process, sales process, just kind of, each step and why it's so important on everything. And then we're going to get lots of feedback from you guys on your challenges, and hopefully we can try and fix some of them. And so, 9 to 3:30, we'll have you out of here. And I'm anxious to hear from some of you, and that's kind of it in a nutshell. So we'll kind of get started here and go from that. We got a little video here, I think, and then.
Excellence happens when consistency and intentionality have a baby, okay? That's where somebody's going, I'm going to be consistent with this, and I'm trying to be intentional with every single detail of my life. I'm thinking about every meeting, I'm thinking about every phone call, I'm thinking about every text message, I'm thinking about every interaction, and it matters to me, and I am not trying to be random. I am trying to be excellent, because I just have to wonder, is there anybody here today that says, yes, I love being average. Average is what I'm looking for in my life. I signed up for mediocre. No, nobody did. But if you want to go to the next level, you want to grow in your life, you're going to have to pursue excellence. You're going to have to be intentional about it. You're going to have to care about things that most people could care less about. They're not even thinking about it. But you are. Why? Because you not only care about the people, you care about your own growth. Excellence is not a one-time event. Excellence is a habit. It's not a thing that you're trying to attain. It's a person you're trying to become. And then you become the kind of person that carries yourself with excellence in everything that you do.
Yeah, so that's kind of what we're trying to do today. We're just trying to improve on what we've been doing and try and pursue excellence, right? So especially when it comes to customer experience nowadays, our customers are pretty demanding. So we can improve the experience that they have in our stores when they come in, and obviously even make it easier for you guys to have a good environment too. So kind of wanted to, we always start the meeting just kind of talking a little bit about yourself. So kind of go around the room. I'd like you to kind of, if you could just kind of introduce yourself, because not everybody knows each other. Maybe let everybody know how long you've been in the business, how long you've been with the Cott Auto Group, and then just talk about whatever you've been doing. Like, so if you were here all last year, just talk about the successes of your store and maybe some of your challenges at your store. But so everybody kind of take a minute just to kind of introduce yourself to everyone. So Brandon, do you want to start?
For sure. Brandon Cott. Today's my third day back. I just had a newborn with my wife, so it's our first child, so
Congrats.
Pretty excited about that. But yeah, excited for this meeting. I feel like as a group, over the last, if I look at the last 5 to 10 years, we've done a really good job of putting together a tight process for our sales department and our finance team, but sometimes we didn't have the tightest process, the tightest training for the service side. So I'm excited for us to do these meetings. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing more feedback from all of you guys today. Biggest challenge, like I said, is just kind of getting your feedback and just making sure we have that manual tight. You guys have somebody that you can always ask for direction or go to on a role or a question or objection. It's good for us to hear the objections that you guys are getting every single day, day in, day out. I'm sure there's stuff that you guys hear from customers, feedback that you're getting. So yeah, just making sure we put that into action for you guys. And yeah, looking forward to the meeting today.
Okay, Jordan?
Hi, name is Jordan Fidget. I've been with the Cott Auto Group for about 2.5 years now. I've been in sales, customer service, close to 20 years. Pretty long period. Success-wise, yeah, myself, to pat myself on the back, I did, it was about 2.3 as my average last year. So pretty good. I sustained that 2.0 above average every single month of the year. And then in terms of you know, stuff that I like to work on, being a perfectionist, it's just pretty much the process all the way around from start to finish. You know, whether it's greeting the customer and everything in between to cashing them out and then talking about service at the end. So just everything in between. I just like to be a perfectionist. So.
Nice. And compliments to Kelowna Hyundai, who won the President's Award, so that's based on service experience, so nice work. Okay, good job. Christina.
My name's Christina. I'm now with Okanagan Dodge. They kidnapped me from my old career with GM.
100 Mile House, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Christina reached out to me on LinkedIn, or did I reach out to you? I can't remember.
Originally you did in 2019, but I just bought my house and I wasn't ready. So things changed, and I've been in the industry for 26 years. I started as a detailer in the body shop, and then I went to Gopher, and then I was in parts. I have my fixed op certificate, and when I was attaining my fixed op certificate, I was originally intending to go back to body shop side in 2008. And I decided that there was so much more to learn on the service side because vehicles are forever evolving. And then I like the challenge of actually dealing with the people and trying to give them the best customer care possible.
Nice, and we've had some, I think things are starting to feel better there, right? Yeah, we had some challenges at the start, but
Things
yeah.
are definitely shifting.
Yeah.
It's good. I think we're on a good momentum. We've got a good team between Tom, Gary, and I helping train Bindu and trying to mold her into
Nice.
another great service advisor. It's going to be a lot of fun.
All right, Bindu, sorry.
That's okay. So my name is Bindu, and it's been 2 years I'm in this business, and it's just 3 months I'm with the Cott Auto Group, and it's a family-owned business, and that makes sense to me as well because it's like a little bit different. Every customer is here like a family. Most of the customers are coming to the dealership for a long time, and they have different expectations. So it's good to learn, and everybody's so helping. Tom is always with us. So I think I'm learning a lot.
Good, well, welcome.
Thank you.
Yourself?
My name's Shanna. I've been in this job for about 1.5 years. Started in the industry as a detailer, worked up through different roles. I went into sales for a bit and kind of settled down in service. Ended up really liking it. I really enjoy kind of taking something that often people come in assuming it's going to be a negative experience and kind of turning that around. Like what brings me the most joy in my job is when I have customers like hug me from flowers, cards, like that really just makes everything worth it. All the difficult customers, just those moments where you turn a really negative into experience into something positive makes it all worth it for me.
Nice. Well, great job. Yourself?
My name's Carrie. I'm with Sunrise Ford, 100 Mile House. Been doing this for coming up almost 4 years. I too really enjoy helping the customer. I like our small community. I know a lot of my customers by name. Yeah, and can hopefully continue on doing that for years to come.
Good, well, appreciate you driving here. What time did you have to leave this morning?
Oh, I left yesterday.
Oh, yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay, but 4-hour drive, so
I
thank
wouldn't
you.
look this fresh.
That's good. Olivia?
So I'm not actually an advisor. I actually am concierge over at Genesis, but I help our service manager Claudius book in a lot of his appointments and kind of facilitate that. So I'm kind of just learning more about the advisor role in and of itself and kind of trying to like implement that a little bit. I wouldn't necessarily have like the same challenges that necessarily you would have, but I deal with kind of a smaller clientele since it is on the luxury scale. So I'm similar to you. I know a lot of my guests by name as well, and yeah, what makes that worth it is just connecting with people, and I think making an impact on their experience and the kind of care that they expect coming into it. And yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Wiley?
Been in the automotive industry for 36 years, coming up on 37. Been with the Cott Auto Group coming up on 11 years. And I guess the thing I enjoy most about my position is spending time with you guys doing this stuff, because I ended up in the automotive industry kind of by accident. I was trying to go into cycling and ended up, taking a temporary position in automotives, and that was 36.5 years ago. So, I'm assuming that the bike job is going to come through any time now. Yeah, no, it's been great, and that's one of the challenges is also trying to figure out how to pivot the different manufacturers to be excellent for each of the different brands, because they're all similar but different rules, different gigs. So that's part of the challenge and what makes it kind of fun.
So, how long have we worked together now?
Well, we worked together in Alberta for a couple of years. That was 20-something years ago. I don't remember the exact, but I mean, it's been 11 now, almost 11 now that you're in.
Did we have gray hair back then?
No, God, no. Not even a hint.
There you go. Okay, Con.
My name's Con Onganell. I'm the service manager at Kelowna Hyundai here. Been with COT going on to 3 years, and I've been doing this now for well over 20. It's a challenging job, but I think that's why I enjoy it. That's probably the easiest way to describe my joy that comes to that. But then the challenge, of course, is how do we push ourselves to the next level, right? It's difficult. Some of us are at the top of our trades, but there's always something more we can do and make more people happy and make more money doing it too. So yeah.
Nice. Scott Jackson.
I've been with the COT Group since 2014 with a slight hiatus for about a year. I'm really looking forward to the meeting today just to sort of see what the similarities are, the challenges that you guys are having, and the commonality between those challenges and how we can help you address those, and just make your life smoother and get you to the top of your games.
Nice. Adam?
I've been in the auto industry for a little over 20 years in various positions between sales, finance, being a third-year apprentice, and being in service. I've been with the COT Auto Group as of yesterday as a 1 year. Loving every moment of it. I'm all about customer service. I want your first experience and your last experience to be the same, and that's for every customer. I want to make it streamlined. So I know the vast majority of our customers within the year, by name, by face. I don't have to blink or guess, and I just want to continue that and learn to grow and help Kia grow as a dealership in the COT Group.
Right on. Perry?
Perry Papadogonis. I've been in the business now for 30 plus years, kind of stopped counting. I echo what Brandon's said. We've poured in a lot of energy, time, drilled down a lot of processes in sales, finance, and I think we've got to put a little bit more attention for service, how to get you guys more traffic, put more time, more business, that kind of stuff. So that's looking forward to this.
Perry has a great presentation for some of the best practices on our technology and stuff that we can use to make it easier on you. A little trivia, Perry and I have been working together for what, 28 years, Perry?
Yeah, 97-ish.
Perry had a mullet when I first knew him. Okay?
I'd love to see that picture.
John had a mullet.
Jordan?
Jordan, Vice President here. 15 years now, roughly. I started in detail as well as I think a couple of you guys here. So when I was still in high school and kind of just worked my way up, went to college for a couple of years after high school and got a management degree, and then just kind of been helping in the company ever since. In regards to biggest challenges, if I was just focusing on the advisor position, what I think that you guys, and what I just feel from different stores is wait times, I think, is a big one. Just with sometimes we have troubles at some stores with the amount of text that we have and just being able to properly, get work through the shop. I think you guys can sometimes struggle with that, and just having the right, I guess, verbiage to the customer. And then the other big one is just I think we do struggle at a lot of our stores for just follow up with customers, right? So I think some days are really good, some days are bad, but most of the time when it comes across my plate on just customer heat and stuff like that, a lot of times it's just the customer just saying, hey, like I've just, I didn't have anyone ever follow up with me, I didn't have anyone give me any updates, and that just kind of, that's what I see from my point of view as a position, because I usually just deal with the stuff that's once it's past the service manager, past the GM, then it comes to me, right? So those are the stuff that I see, is that a lot of times, did we actually do anything wrong? Not really. It was more so just, hey, the customer just felt that they had a really bad experience because we didn't follow up with them properly, and then that just kind of snowballed and snowballed and snowballed, and then sometimes they get forgotten about and stuff like that. But yeah, that's just if we're talking about biggest challenges from what I see that they have to do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Jordan won't be here for most of the meeting. He's working on another assignment, but wanted to come and just, I know you're gonna be leaving, but wanted you to come in. And then Jessica,
Hi.
okay? Want to say anything, Jessica?
Nope.
7 years with me.
9 this
9
year.
years, 9 years.
You said you didn't want to say anything.
Okay, and then Jessica's my right hand. She's director of
John.
operations and EA, so she helps me with all the projects we're working on. So, okay, well, let's go through with what the plan is here. So this is kind of the stuff we're going to go through today, guys. And I just, I know Con and some of the other managements are going to help me with this, so you don't have to listen to me all day. We're just going to kind of dummy down the service and buyer sales process while we do certain things. Kind of go through each step, have a lot of conversations on just some basic stuff. You know, some of it, it's not like you're gonna at the meeting be like, oh wow, I've never heard that before. It's more so just fine tuning some of the stuff you guys already know. So you do have your books, take notes if you want or anything like that. Customer experience, we're gonna talk a lot about sort of how to hit our scores. You know, what kind of experience do the customers get when they come in, and little things like, you know, sometimes we can do everything really good and then right at the end, we just, you know, there might be a little bit of a setback, and so just finishing strong sometimes with customers. We're gonna go through the guild ranking. Scott Jackson's gonna kind of go through some of the maintenance packages, so some hard data on the numbers. Perry's gonna help us with some technology, and then we're just gonna kind of walk through again the best practices and all the KEG initiatives for the fixed operations and in particular the service advisors, right? So, all right, so we'll get right into the sales process roadmap. So again, Con, please feel free to jump in here.
Sounds good.
So I want to talk about greeting and welcome. So needs assessment, obviously, and I kind of, you might have even seen this story, or maybe me use this analogy, but if you were to invite me over for supper, Jordan, what would you do ahead of time if you say, hey JK, what are you doing on Friday night? I want you to come over for supper. What would be your process?
Yeah, obviously, you know, send you out an invite.
Yeah.
Tell exactly where to go and what time to come. And then when you got here, I'd be waiting for you at the door.
Right, so you're not gonna be laying on the couch and then the doorbell rings?
Well, maybe like half an hour before, but not right away.
Are you gonna do a little cleanup before I come in?
100%.
There's not gonna be like a big basket of laundry that has to be done?
No, it's gonna be immaculate, for sure.
Okay. So yeah, so we know it's 6 o'clock. You probably know my preference, right? Are you gonna serve me fish if I'm allergic to fish, or you're gonna know my allergic reactions or anything like that if I need it, right? If I have any dietary restrictions, right? Then as I drive up, you're probably going to, you know, as I'm walking up to the, to go ring the doorbell, you're probably gonna open the door and then say what?
Hey, welcome to my home.
Welcome to my house. Welcome to my house. Come on in. Can I get your jacket? Can I get you a drink? Okay, and then I'm gonna say, come on over to the couch, right? And whatever. So my point is that sometimes we kind of lose sight a little bit of their first impression. And when you invite someone to your house, you gotta, you know, we take a lot of pride in what we do, and to bring someone over to your house for supper. So what's the initial, you know, first impression when our customers come into our dealerships now? Are they getting that same thing? Like, you know, are we saying the word welcome? And are we saying, come on with us? You know, or at 7:30 sometimes, you know, there's a big lineup, and, you know, and then we're, you know, maybe Con's having a meeting or someone's having a meeting, and then, you know, we're letting the customers just kind of sit there until we open the door, right, in the mornings. So all those things are just to be aware of, right? So again, so ideally when the customer comes in, you know, we want them to feel welcome. We want them to actually say, wow, that felt good, right? So like a lot of these things is sometimes, you know, we do the job every day, right? So, you know, you guys all show up, you know what your job's gonna be all day, but the customers don't come in here every day, right? So they don't know if someone called in sick. They don't know if there's a tech that didn't show up. They don't know, you know, they're here to get a vehicle serviced, right? or in the service industry. So, you know, it's just sometimes reflecting like how welcome do they feel when they come into our dealership. So again, the drive-through's got to be clean, they got to have easy access, and then the first thing that when they get out of their cars should be, so good morning, welcome to our house, right? And that's kind of, whoops. What happened here?
Shut it off.
For me? There we go. Oh, I keep pushing the wrong button, that's why. Okay. Do this real quick. Okay, so meet and greet mastery. Welcome to our house. We talked about that one. Good energy. So again, these are just things that, you know, like I like what you had said, like, you know, the first thing should be that they're smiling, right? You know, do you know that what customers, the three industries that customers don't like to come into, or people don't like to deal with? Wiley?
Probably dentists. getting
Dentist
their
is
car
one.
serviced.
Automotive.
Dentist one, lawyer second.
Lawyers, yeah, I was gonna say.
And then automotive. So like if we don't have really good energy and just like welcome and then giving them that smile right off the bat. So a smile is everything, right? So it's really important that we really get off to that really good. The 10-foot rule is like, you know, even, does everyone know what I mean by the 10-foot rule?
No, actually.
Yeah, it's supposed to say 2-foot rule, isn't it? Huh?
Should be
Two foot is, yeah.
I was like,
Okay.
oh, no,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, 2-foot rule is, 2-foot rule is you say hello, and you make eye contact, and, I mean, I know some of the younger generation doesn't do that, but, even a handshake is really professional, guys. And I think sometimes we get away with that, but, you know, if you're coming in and you're wanting to do service with you, it does make it more professional when you say, hey, good morning, welcome. Let's get started on it, and you do a handshake. That's a big one. So that's supposed to say 2-foot rule there.
Actually, with that being said, I do find, like, I'm
Yeah.
a big handshaker, and
Some people don't like it.
no, for the most part, like, I would say 98% of people are all over it,
Yeah.
and right away, it opens the door in a sense.
It's a literal connection.
Yeah.
You're
Right.
making contact.
And they're like, oh, somebody actually wants to shake my hand now, these days.
Yeah, and
It
it makes,
seems like something that's fallen through the cracks. in a
it
sense.
has fallen through the cracks, and it does bring it back to the more professionalism, right? It's like, you know what, you're here to, you know, obviously do service, spend money with us. So let's start it off by welcoming and a firm handshake. Hey, it's really great to see you again. Welcome to our dealership. We're gonna, you know, try and give you the best customer experience that we can today. Go through all your wants and needs, and try and get you out of here in the agreed upon time, right? So, handshake, again, we talked about it, but, you know, and then how you handshake too, right? You wanna, it's gotta be a firm handshake, it can't be sort of a limp handshake, a good posture, eye contact, and then you're giving that thing. And I think what happens is when you give someone a handshake, they really think that you're taking them more serious. It's gonna be like, okay, this is, you know, he has lots of pride in his position and whatnot. Can we just kind of go through that? How many of you right now are doing the handshake when you greet them? Okay, you? Okay.
I'll do a handshake at the end,
Okay.
when I generally do it.
When you close out or at the end? Okay.
I think there's something to say with the younger generation too. I mean, for those that are comfortable, and not so much us, but the customer. I mean, some of these younger kids that are coming in and they've got maybe their parents' car, or, you know, they bought their first car and it's not worth the, you know, they don't get taken very seriously, and then they come into an automotive dealership and maybe it's just for warranty, but just sometimes that handshake makes them feel like they're to that next level. You know, it's tough as a younger person coming into such an environment, right? So a handshake's like, oh, okay, I'm being welcomed in, I'm worth something, I'm being taken seriously, right? So.
Yeah. Smile. Smiles are contagious. So like, and then, you know, like, I always say this, awareness, like, if you smile, generally the customer's gonna smile, right? So, I think we have to really be aware of how our energy is, and And, you know, are we smiling and are we saying good morning to them, right? So it's just really important that we kind of have that word track, good morning, welcome to our dealership. And then you do the handshake and you give them a nice smile. Just, you know, practice makes perfect, and all of a sudden it's a really good way to start, right? Be organized. This is a big one, like, you know, how we talked about at the house, having your whole house cleaned and ready and organized, but it's the same in your workspace or even the drive-through. You know, is our computer logged on? Do we have a pen? Do we have, you know, our reading glasses, whatever we need, and, you know, the tire gauge or whatever else we have that are little tools, and you're ready to go, right? So don't make them wait. So this is a tough one, guys, because you guys are very busy. But have any of you guys ever go into the 7-Eleven now? When was the last time we went into the 7-Eleven? Any of you?
Yeah, not too long ago.
Okay. What happened when you walked into the 7-Eleven? Do you remember?
Last time I went, there was a huge line.
Okay.
Trying to get to the till.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
did the guy yell out to you?
Yeah, usually right when you walk in the door,
Yeah.
they're like, hello.
Yeah, so that business now has a mandate where if you walk in, the person behind the till, no matter how busy he is gonna say hi. So it's, you know, you can look at other examples too, right? But even if you are making them wait, it's just like, hey, I'll be right with you, just acknowledging them within the first 10 seconds is so important. Because if you are backed up, you know, you at least gotta say, hey, listen, I'll be right with you. And we had this talk with this at Victoria where, like, even when I was there yesterday, one advisor was over here, one advisor was here. They have kind of stations. And then there was a guy, and there was a big red line. There was a big red line, and then the guy's standing here. And so then when I walked down, I said, have you been looked after? And he said, no, but the other two people were busy. But I just feel like, you know, it's kind of like, it's not ICBC. It's not like, here's your ticket, and you go wait in the corner, and we'll call your name, right? And so are we aware of how we're coming across? So, you know, I think that it's really important for you guys just to get in the habits of, hey, we'll be right with you, give us 2 minutes, you know, help yourself to a coffee, help yourself to water right outside. But if you don't acknowledge them, then they make it, then it is that they haven't been. And part of the CSI con is what, that they've been greeted in the first 2 minutes, right?
Within 30 seconds, actually.
So the first 30 seconds, we at least have to acknowledge them.
I think no matter what, like the acknowledgement has to happen 100%, and you can like let them know. Like the last thing I want to do when I bring my card is like go wait in line and nobody even look at me in the morning. Like you get here, your appointment's 8:30, you show up and then nobody even like says hi or anything. That can be a negative. But then also when you acknowledge them, be accurate with the time you're giving them when you can take them. Like if you know you're already have 2 customers, don't tell them you're going to be with them in like 2 minutes if you know it's going to be 5, because then you're going to like that's going to snowball into a negative, right? So I think it's important when you acknowledge to also be upfront about what's going on right now. So if you know you're backed up and it's going to be 5 to 7 minutes, you got to be like, hey, just so you know, we're running a little behind this morning. I see that you're here on time for your appointment. We're running about 5 to 7 minutes behind. That's going to go further than you saying, okay, we'll be in 2 minutes, and you actually don't get to them until 7. So.
But you guys, have any of you been into ICBC? You guys know what I mean? Like when you come up to the thing and they'll say, okay, here's your number, please go. Or a doctor's office, sometimes they do the same thing. You check in and then you gotta go sit and wait and they'll call your name. So we just gotta be real conscious of how we're coming across. So even if we are during a busy time, we at least have to let them know that we're focused on.
I think that applies even when you're on the phone, because I've seen that a
Yes.
number of times too. It doesn't need to be talking to the person on the phone and say, okay, just a minute, and then having a conversation with them. It can even just be, you know, acknowledging them, just 1 second, like just, you know, like that. And your reaction to them is you're acknowledging them and just saying, just 1 second. And hopefully during that time while you're on the phone, either somebody else is gonna come up there or they'll wait for you to get off the phone.
And don't be afraid to, you know, you guys are being held accountable, so don't be afraid if you are backed up to let your managers know too. Say, hey, we need some help out here. Even the manager coming out and greeting them and getting them lined up, right? So that's what a team does, right? So if you know that there's you and another advisor and you have 4 or 5 people waiting, then go grab the manager and get him involved, right? So dress code and professionalism, I think we do a pretty good job, but just kind of remember, guys, like that's where sometimes I want the name tags. I think it's really good. so that they can look at your name and see that, and that you are dressed as a professional, so, you know, and you're giving them that sort of professional, you know, hey, we're here, and I say this all the time, I got it later on, but like, while they, I think you've heard this story before, but, who here has a pet? Does anyone have a pet? What do you have?
I have a cat,
Cat, what's her name?
Arnold.
Arnold, okay. Yourself?
I have a dog, Kiwi.
Kiwi? Yourself?
I had two, but I don't.
No? Do you have a pet? No?
Yeah, I have a dog named Millie.
Millie?
I got Oscar and Otis.
Oscar and Otis.
I have 11 cats currently.
11?
We just had kittens.
And the-
Yeah, how Wiley?
So we
11
had
cats, man.
Wow.
Seven kittens.
You are an animal.
Yeah. 7 kittens living in my spare room right now.
Adam?
I have a Toy Australian Shepherd Whiskey.
Whiskey. Okay. Whiskey, this morning doesn't come wagging his tail and doesn't, and you know something's wrong. He's kind of hobbling around to you, and you can just tell that he doesn't look good. What are you gonna do?
Check his surroundings, just to make sure
Yeah.
that I don't see anything abnormal. Check him to make sure that I don't see anything abnormal. Sit with him for a little bit to see how he
Right.
goes, and if I feel that it's severe enough, then I will make that call and take him to the vet.
Take him to the vet, okay. And then when you take him to the vet, walk me through how that works.
I haven't had to, actually, so
Okay.
he-
Has anyone
I
taken
haven't
their
had
pet to the vet?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me what happens when you take it to the vet.
Well, I was pretty lucky because like Carrie said, 100 Mile is pretty accommodating and we have a wonderful vet there that
Yeah.
does emergency things. And we have major, large pack rats
Okay.
that like to steal things.
Okay.
And there was a big halibut fishing hook
Oh,
that was in our backyard. We've gone through everything when we
Okay.
first bought our house.
okay. So,
Hook went through her paw,
oh boy.
called the vet, no answer because it was like
Yeah.
11 o'clock at night.
Okay. But when you got to when you were eventually able to.
Yeah,
take it
when we
in,
got,
okay.
actually, they showed up, they met
Okay.
us there,
Yeah.
they rushed down, both receptionist and the vet
Right.
doctor.
Well,
Um,
took him in,
took her in, yeah, took the
Took her in.
Rottweiler in and
took,
greeted us, obviously, and
took the stitches, got the stitches, yeah. And then, did you stay right there or did you leave for a while and then?
we
go-
stayed,
Okay,
we stayed.
okay. And then did they come and update you at all?
No, we were in the room.
Oh, were you?
Nothing was
Okay.
getting done,
Okay, so my point, what I'm trying to make is on the veterinarian and the animal as well. A lot of our customers think that their vehicles are their babies, right? So using that same analogy, when they come in here, we gotta be professional, we gotta give them the dress code, and then we kinda gotta consider it, that it's really important and tangible to them, and sometimes I think we forget, we're processing these cars, and we're gonna get, you know, your tires swapped, and we're gonna get the oil change done, and whatever, but to them, it's like, you know, this is their baby, this is their vehicle, they're making payments on it, and so we have to be real empathetic, and we have to be really focused on, you know, that we're doing a really big service to them, right? So sometimes I just kind of like to use that veterinarian sort of analogy, because I know lots of people, even my wife, who takes a lot of pride in her vehicle. You know, she wants it clean, it's very important to her vehicle, and I think a lot of our customers come in and we kind of forget that, you know, how important their vehicle is to them. Be prepared. So give me an example of when I say be prepared for the customer that I might be. Jordan.
Yeah, so being prepared to me would be, again, just starting from scratch, greeting everybody and
Yep.
being there, present with them, not thinking about, you know, the work order that you have to write up next, or the survey you got, you know, earlier that wasn't good.
Yeah.
Being present with them, right? And then being prepared to me is, you know, going through the process and doing everything for them, like walk around,
Yeah.
reading them. So that's what it is to me.
Okay. Anything he missed on what I mean by be prepared?
I'd say,
Go ahead, did it yourself.
I'd say for me personally, like little things, if I see a car drive up, I'll check the appointment very
Right.
briefly as they
Yeah.
drive in, know them by name when they pull up.
Yeah,
Kind of have a brief idea of their vehicle, if they've serviced with us before, if they
Nice.
haven't.
kind of what I was looking for. Con, and what do you think I mean by that?
Yeah, I agree. You know, computer on, you know, hopefully we're getting a license plate and it's in the system right, so you can, we can have them in front of us. But yeah, name, profile, you know, what are they here for? And then that way when we're coming over, we're not asking questions like, hi, who are you and what brings you in? It's, hi, Mr. Smith, I see you're here for your oil change. Welcome to Kelowna Hyundai.
Well, and then what we just talked about with the vet, right? So like they met you there, right?
Yeah.
So imagine our customers coming in, you've looked at the previous history,
Yeah.
you know who it is, you know the vehicle, under the green is you know, hey, how's it going? I'm all ready for you here. Let me just grab, I got the file here ready. From what it looks like on the notes, you're here for this, is there anything else, you know, that we need to discuss today? But, you know their vehicle, you know who they are, and you know why they're there. Imagine if we can give that sort of energy and feeling every time they come in, that we're prepared for them, on how that's gonna just change the whole experience, rather than saying, okay, your name, your number, who are you? So, Colin, how would you rate us on that right now?
Well,
Like actually,
can't
like
speak for all
knowing
the stores.
nobody at your store, knowing the appointments, like where we're assigning them, and the advisors are ready for them.
I would say first thing in the morning, we're probably 7 to 8, and then as the day goes and we have more people lined up, we probably fall to like to 6, just because
Okay.
you know it's a lot more difficult to have it up, but we could always do a lot better for sure.
Okay. Adam, how would you kind of rate yourself on the preparation of knowing the customers before they come in there and being able to greet them with their name and everything that they want?
I would say in the first 2 hours, we're probably between the 7.5 and the 9. And
Okay.
then come that after the mid rush, kind of tail off a little bit
Yeah.
to around that 5.5, 6.
Okay, it's the same idea, okay. Olivia, we must be pretty good at Genesis of knowing what the customer's name and everything when they
Yeah,
come
I mean, we deal with like, 5 appointments maximum a day
So
on
you should know
our
them,
end.
yeah.
Normally, we're sitting like anywhere 3 to 5, so we go through our appointments multiple times for
Right.
the day, for the week, for whatever. I'm reviewing 2 weeks in advance, and then we're going through day of multiple
Nice.
times
I
most
like
of
that.
the time. So I would say we're quite on top of that throughout the day. It's just a lot more manageable too with
Yeah.
our volume, right? So
Nice.
yeah.
How about 100 Mile House, would you say that must, at a smaller store, we must?
I think we do pretty good at it, because
Okay.
I go through the appointments the day before as well,
Yeah,
to make
that's-
sure, see what's coming in, and do we
Nice.
have the parts, do we, like,
Yeah,
so we don't go, sorry, you gotta go, we don't have your parts.
right.
So, I think we're pretty good at it.
But you guys get where I'm coming from, like, so for a 6 or a 7 right now, we can try and get that up a bar. It just makes such a world of difference when they come in and we can call them by their first name and say, hey, I've been waiting here for you. We're all set for us to go ahead and do a walk around your vehicle and discuss the service, right? So that's what I'm kind of meant by be prepared. Setting time expectations, so we did a lot of calls to the service managers. And we just, I think sometimes, when I say over promises, we kind of want to wow the customer, so yeah, we can get you in and out of here for an hour, but sometimes I don't think we give ourselves enough leeway, right? So this is a real important, so I always word it this way, in a perfect world, it should be between an hour and a half, but let's give ourselves a little bit of an extra time. Let's make it probably gonna be 2.5 hours, 2 hours, because it's not just getting it out and doing the oil change, we've gotta process it. We're gonna do an inspection on the vehicle, make sure, and just so you know, the technician's gonna go through it, and he's gonna give us a video later that I'm gonna be able to send you, just so you can see some of the undercarriage and stuff like that. So when you set the tone on the expectations, you should set it up right then about the video that's coming. And just so you guys know, we'll talk about it later, but we know for a fact that when customers get the video, when it's explained properly, not only do our numbers go up, but the customer experience goes way up. They liked it. It's like that picture of their dog. You sending that picture to you of whiskey, what happened at the vet, you're opening it, you're like, okay, I'm happy now. Well, it's the same thing with their cars, right? We're sending that video, and the technicians, as the specialist, he's the expert. Hey, I'm the expert, I just want to go through your vehicle with you. And then you guys set the time for that, and then so when they do get it 2 or 3 o'clock and say, hey, it's John here, I remember me telling you that I was going to send you a video, here's the tech video, right? So that's what I meant by kind of setting the time. How are we doing on talking to them about the video, right, during the check-in? Have you been doing that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it's part of my script.
Okay.
Yeah.
you guys, you have it?
It's just new for us, so
Right.
we're starting to get it now.
Okay, yeah, I think you'll see.
We love it.
Oh, they
Love it, okay,
Yeah.
good, good, how about you, Adam?
Huge success, that's one of the main keys going over the RO with the customer before they sign, is that you will be getting a video, what's the video explaining what it
Okay.
is and the benefits of it.
Come a long ways on that, haven't we, Perry? Took a while. Yeah, took a while. Okay, nice, I love hearing that. Controlling the visit with confidence, guys, so no matter how big or small, you know, you guys, and I'm happy to, you know, see the numbers and see the CSI and everything, and it's really good right now. I think we have a great team, and that's kind of why we did this meeting, is because there's a lot of strong advisors in our company, and just having the confidence, right? Just, you know, people want to deal with people that are successful, and a confidence. I mean, I'll tell you, we did have the Okanagan Dodge. I don't know, Brandon, if you see the rat and Ray one.
Oh, yeah, that most,
Okay.
oh my goodness. what a-
So the opposite of it is, customer came in, didn't think that they should have to pay the diagnostic. Service manager didn't get involved. Gotta let the advisor do it. Advisor said no, you have to pay the $400. And this customer who had bought 20-some vehicles went on just a tyrant on social media, right? And it all could have been avoided if, you know, controlling the visit, confidence, you know what? Let me go get the service manager. Obviously, Tom knows he dropped the ball on it. He should have phoned the customer himself. But just how quick things can go sideways if we're not, you know, we don't always, you know, there's gonna be times where their vehicle breaks down and it's very frustrating for them,
So
right?
now, just in our defense, even with training Bindu and everything.
Yeah.
Gary and I have been working very hard on setting people's expectations.
Yeah.
And I've even been helping Bindu, like getting
Mhm.
people prepared. I don't even care if the vehicle's under basic warranty.
Yeah.
There could be a chance that you're getting your 1 hour diagnostic charge.
Right,
at the
yeah.
minimum.
Yeah.
If we can get it covered under warranty, great,
Yeah.
but please know that if it's something that is
Yeah.
wear and tear or something unexpected,
Yeah. Yeah, and just, the thing is, if, knowing that when if the customer's not happy, is just that we have a concern resolution, which means, you know, you getting your manager involved, right? So, most of the times when I get involved, the manager didn't react quick enough and then it just snowballed, right? So, we wanna have that process, but controlling the visit with confidence. Okay, needs assessment. Con, I'm gonna let you go through this one.
Sure.
Okay? Right here?
This next one?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Who knows what a needs assessment is, or what the basic idea behind a needs assessment is?
trying to figure out what they're there for.
Yeah, yeah. I think the biggest priority with needs assessment is what they're coming in for. I've seen it with advisors before, where we jump right into the maintenance menu, or, you know, what we want to sell them, or, you know, what we feel is important, rather than validating why they're actually there and what's important to them, right? So that establishes the sort of the relationship, right? So yeah, pull history: who, what, where, when. Do we know? Do they service with us on a regular basis? Are they only here for warranty? That makes a huge difference on how we're going to deal with that customer. Empathy, the vet story, we just kind of heard it, right? So, you know, a vehicle breaking down, let's also remind ourselves what a vehicle is to a person. It's the second biggest thing that they're ever going to purchase in their life. For some people, like the customer that had 20 vehicles from one dealership, some people are buying vehicles that they barely can afford. So when that breaks down, they think about, how am I going to make money? How am I going to get to work? How are my kids going to get to school? All those things, right? So if we don't have empathy, we're not going to have a connection with that guest. Shift from order taking to consulting. Tell us what you're needing and what we can do for you today. Adam, what is order taking versus being a consultant?
Listening to the customer, well, order taking is basically just telling the customer what I want and not listening to what they need, and provide a service based on just myself, not them.
Yeah, totally. We've all been to McDonald's, fast food places. Order taking is exactly that. What would you like? I want a burger. Okay. Do you want fries with that? Do you want a drink with that? That is order taking. A consultant lets them know, based on our professional opinion, our training with the manufacturer, our training with our companies, you know, what is the best way to take care of your vehicle? What should you be doing that you may not be doing? Or maybe it's even a situation that the vehicle's being driven incorrectly, or, you know, if a certain feature isn't being used correctly, and if we're also educating. That's consulting, right? Is, you know, seeing the bigger picture and then letting them know, you know, the best way of kind of moving forward, right?
Even on that one, like, I don't know if you guys use this Square Track, but one of the ones that is the best practice is, you know, asking them, what are you trying to accomplish today? What were you trying to accomplish today when you came in? When you ask those open-ended questions, you know, they might bring up like, you know what, I gotta get in and out of here within 2 hours, and like, it's really important to me, or I'm going on a trip, or, you know, knowing why they brought it in today and not just, you know, that they're here to fix their car, I think is really important too. So I always like using that open-ended question, what were you trying to accomplish today when you came in? Right, because that's gonna pull out some stuff, right? So it's a really good line to use.
Yeah, totally, 100%, yeah. This is a big one. Customer comes in, they're complaining about a noise. I've seen work orders in the past, I think we all have. Customer complains there's a noise. It's a ticking noise, and that's about all. I would always say that your best advisor, how you know you did such a great job, is you wrote up that work order, it went to a technician, and the technician never even had to come and talk to you again. They were immediately able to diagnose the issue based on the information you provided to them, and you're making a phone call, you're sending a tech video, and the job's getting done, and you know, action, right? I've done this in service training before, where I'll create a paragraph, because that's what we hear when we talk to our customers. You know, they talk about the 9 p.m. they left the house with the wife to go get dinner at whatever, and it was raining that day, and it was cold outside, and they went over the bump, and you guys have heard it all before. You get this big paragraph, and your job is to be that detective, to pick up those keywords. Okay, it was cold outside, it was raining outside, you were making a left turn, you were going over a bump. Those are all the important things, because as an advisor, you're that connection to the technician. You're that middle person between that customer and that technician. Getting all those interesting points. I mean, we shouldn't be giving work orders to technicians and saying, hey, it's a noise, it's a clunk. And then they're trying to figure out what they're supposed to do. And then the worst thing that we always have to call a customer on is, I'm sorry, we couldn't get that to happen for you today. We couldn't fault that concern.
I like the word be a detective, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so ask those questions, right? I mean, sometimes you have to jump into a car. Sometimes you have to go for a drive. You know, I'll let my advisors know. I mean, especially if it's something with the radio or the interior of the car, jump into that car, turn the radio on, see what they're actually saying. Very well, you could actually find out it's something you can fix within the drive-through, and now we've saved all that time for that technician, right? So really, really important to be that detective. Menu presentation. I would say it's safe to say that we all have menus. We all know what we're trying to sell at various mileages. You know, some of you have a digital one that goes within the computer. I know Okanagan Dodge does. For Kelowna Hyundai, and I think Kia is the same thing. We have a menu with exact mileages, what we recommend. So your job is to go through history, what hasn't been done, what is going to get done, and then, you know, let your technician know. If you're not able to sell something on it, sometimes it's the technician that's going to get that through. So it's really, really important that they highlight maybe that transmission flush that you weren't able to service. They're going to do a little transmission test. They're going to pull some fluid out. Hey, Mr. Customer, this is your transmission fluid. You know, I know that Bindu was trying to sell it earlier today, but this is kind of the reason why we want to do it. You know, you're over 50,000 kilometers and the fluid is quite brown now, right? So, I mean, that goes a lot. So a deferred line is always the best recommendation for anything that's not going to get sold. But try to get that in the drive-through. You know, I always think it's like the icebreaker. You know, you get the air filter, you get the cabin filter, you get the wiper blades. It kind of opens up the door for maintenance. You kind of know who you're dealing with when you make that first sale.
I think the best time of doing that actually is while we're doing the walk around video on check-in. It just seems to be helpful to be with the customer.
100%, absolutely.
It gives you multiple kicks at the can.
Yeah.
Because you do it at the appointment coordinator, when the appointment coordinator write the original appointment. You hit them again when you write up the work order. The advisors or the technicians hit them again when you do the video and the walk around. And then you have another opportunity to, when you close it out, to rebook them for that appointment again. So you've got 4 or 5 kicks at the can.
100%.
I like to also, because we do 2 different copies, we do a dispatch copy and our main hard copy that the customer signs. If I've already gone through the maintenance menu with the customer on check-in and they're already kind of leaning towards it, I'll put a little, what I call love note to the technician saying, hey, customer's been made aware, can you focus on this during your video and maybe we can get it again?
Yeah, perfect. Concern on brakes, concern on the noise, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, that's key. We call it the tail of the tape at Kelowna Hyundai. So, you know, advisor will talk to the manager, this is what I tried to do, and then when the job is dispatched, much the same way you just said, you will let the technician know, you know, Christina was trying to sell brakes, but, you know, they don't quite know what's going on. Let's make sure we take a wheel off. Let's get the video on the brakes so we can make sure that we're addressing it. Maybe there's nothing to be concerned of. And now we've sold the green to the customer too, right? All right, you're reviewing pricing with customers. Note deferred work on work order. The pricing thing is extremely important nowadays. So much so, we don't talk about taxes. We don't talk about job supplies. I think you guys have all probably booked out a job, been sitting down with somebody, maybe it was in your work order, maybe it was, and you tell them it's $1,100.63, and they're like, well, you told me it was gonna be $900 on the phone, and we didn't talk about job supplies, and we didn't talk about, yeah,
Everything
exactly.
has to be transparent.
100%. So write it on the work order. Best practice would be to actually type it into the work order. That way when the customer signs it, there's no disputing the fact that it was on that work order. And then when you're doing your quotes, make sure you get all of your information, everything that they came in for, and everything you want to sell. So when they say that okay, whether it be through Komobi or over the phone, it's an all-in price. There's no surprises when they come in. If it's $1,163, it's $1,163 when they pick up, not an extra $200 or $300. I think that's key when you're checking that person out and you want that good CSI survey. We can't expect that 10 out of 10 for, you know, surprising them with the $200 extra, right?
I think sometimes what happens on that, you guys, is when you're doing your recommended services and you're sending that email out to the customer, sometimes you turn around and you take, okay, the customer came in for an oil change and tire rotation, you take those, you uncheck those boxes and you send everything else. So then all of a sudden they get that surprise because there's an extra couple $100 there.
Leave all the check
So if
marks.
you leave all the check marks on there, just make sure you do.
Yep.
This would be your final bill if you did everything.
The one thing I would like to know that's been a little bit frustrating, job supplies doesn't change unless you actually change it yourself. So when you have all of your check marks checked in and you do your recommended services, shop supplies will stay where it's at the time. I actually manually have to go back in. I've caught on to this over the last
Are you
month.
getting the maximum, or you're saying it's just not recalculating?
It's not recalculating shop supplies, so it's
Should.
$99.95 is our
automatically.
max,
It's a PBS thing.
We'll verify that.
right?
Yep.
Whereas when you are doing up a quote, if it's just an oil change and a tire rotation and it's customer pay, it'll leave the shop supplies at the tire rotation and oil change cost versus
It should.
updating. So I'll automatically run back to it now
No, it's not
before I
minimum, but there's a
print
max.
out
Yep.
or
75
PDF
bucks
it
max.
and add that.
Because it's all based on,
We'll double check
Labor
that.
percentages, yeah.
That's a
It
technical
does the
thing.
calculation percentage, yes, at your current total though. If it hasn't been approved or accepted because it's a recommendation, it doesn't update it. You have to update it yourself.
And your recommended service copy should include.
It was throwing out, I was like
We'll
trying to
verify
figure
that,
out, I'm like,
'cause,
what the
yeah.
heck, why
Could
is
be
my
a
work
PBS.
order? I'm big on my numbers because I wanna beat it if
Oh, yeah, for
anything,
sure.
so that I'm saving them $100.
And-
So I look like the good guy.
And thank you for bringing that up, because this is also what this meeting's all
Yeah.
about. Sometimes
Absolutely.
these things go unheard,
Yeah.
and then we can bring this right to the service manager, create some actions, and then you obviously help you, because you should just be able to hit that. It's a wicked tool, I think we all love it,
I just
but yeah, it needs to
adjusted
work.
now, catching on.
Yep, well, it's good that you pivoted, thank you. All right, don't overpromise, tell them the promise and expectations, and that's right in the get-go. You're selling a job, make sure that you're letting them know that you're gonna need the vehicle for a little bit longer. Maybe it came in for an oil change and they were expecting a couple hours, you suddenly sold them a few services, well, that's gonna change your timing, right? Now we have to talk about, you know, shuttles and transportation and other things that we can do in order to make sure that they're comfortable, and obviously making sure that we don't lose the sale doing it, right? I think that is it for.
Are we telling them too about the clean? That we're gonna clean the vehicle for them? Okay.
Customers needs to sign the hard copy. I can't believe I almost forgot. We just went through an audit on the Genesis side, and they did amazing on signing it. I think they did 275 work orders. They only missed 2 signatures on 275, which is fantastic. That has to be, it is a legal document. Scott is always saying that anytime he ever
It's a
reviews it,
contract.
100%. And I have actually been in a court, and I have actually had a hard copy brought up as a statement in court. It is absolutely a legal document. If somebody did not sign it, not only can you not work on the car, you can't touch that car. you're not allowed to drive it, you're not, all that little fine print that probably no
It's the
one's ever read,
contract.
literally says, this gives me permission to drive your vehicle and do things to it, right? Lift it up in the air, all that stuff, so.
Con, just going back to what John was saying about the complimentary car wash.
Yes,
Is that a line item on the work order?
it should be a line item. I know on KH side it is.
Is that a
Genesis
line
is-
item on everybody's work order that we've given them a complimentary car wash?
Yes, sir. And explain what it is, what the car wash is.
Should be talked about during the needs assessment, because there are people that don't want their cars washed, they're super specific on it. So that's also important to know, is to make sure the keys are tagged and the work order's tagged, so no one accidentally washes the car as well, right? So,
Perfect time.
I have something just on the last note, on signing the hard copy. In the case that someone has a vehicle towed in or it's an overnight drop off, like what I yeah, what I've personally always done is I've like phoned the customer, gone over everything, let them know that I do need their authorization in writing.
Mhm.
So I'll text them via Komobi and then have them respond.
Mhm.
Is that also technically like a legal authorization?
You've got something in writing, you can print out a text transcript, you can print it on an email. What else do you think you could do as far as getting a signature?
I always attach the Dropbox envelope,
Yeah.
because that
You
is
can also do
their
it pickup, right?
approval.
Yeah.
Boom. Yeah, it doesn't matter when you get a signature, right? I mean, in the end of the day, as long as you have a signature, and you're getting multiple signatures throughout the entire
Process.
service, yeah, so you're getting a signature on the closing copy, you're getting a signature on a warranty copy, so, and then same thing when you guys are really, really busy and somebody really needs to get out of here, you know, the drop-off box envelope is great, it doesn't have to be a late drop-off, it can be, hey, I just wanna drop my keys, I've got my ride waiting, you know, can you give me a call? Yeah, no worries, I need you to sign this drop-off envelope, and then that it gets attached to the hard copy, so lots of different ways to skin a cat, especially around.
Okay, easy now.
I think.
Okay,
that
this
takes
one
us-
here, like, I'll just go back there.
Of course.
You'll notice where it says turning maintenance and
Oh,
protection,
sorry.
we care. But you guys were trying to frame it, and Gary and I were discussing this even in some of his advertising. We need to frame it that, you know, it's not about, not when you maintain your car, it's about protection, right? So we're, you know, we're providing, we care enough, we want them to care enough about their vehicle that they're protecting it by doing the proper maintenance, right? So you have to frame it properly. The last thing we want is them thinking that we're just, you know, we're trying to sell them a whole bunch of stuff they don't need, right? So it's really important how you frame it, right? And that this maintenance is going to help them with, you know, the health of the vehicle. Obviously, you're gonna be able to keep it longer and all that type of stuff, and it's gonna run better, right? So.
Absolutely. I think we're going in a walk around. You want to take care of walk around here, Tricia?
Yeah, keep going, yeah.
Okay. All right, so proper walk around.
You're the expert, buddy.
Thank you. Who does a walk around at the dealership as far as the service? I really hope I see all hands. Yeah, Jordan? Yeah, okay. I call it a profile. That's my verbiage. It's a way for you to find out more about that customer. It's not just your tires are worn out and your wiper blades are streaking. It's also the baby seats inside the car. You know, so proper walk around should include opening the doors and looking at what's inside the vehicle, right? Do they take care of the car? Is the car an absolute mess? Is it a work vehicle? Is it a personal vehicle? Is there a roof rack? Is there, you know, skis? You can find out everything. So let me pose the question to someone I haven't picked on, Shanna. So if you see a customer with child seats in the back of the car, what do you think is probably the utmost importance in when it comes down to that service?
Safety.
Why do you think that?
They have family, they've got their pride and joy in the back seat.
100%, right? So that leads you into how to sell to that customer, how to talk to that customer. You know, when they say that, I'm not gonna do the brakes and they're at 3 millimeters, you're probably gonna spend a little bit more time on what 3 millimeters means to break it, you know? And then the other thing for kids, for anybody that are parents in the room, it's also about, is their vehicle ready to go at any point in time? You know, A to B, I need to start that car, I need to get them to an appointment, I need to get them to school. Leaving things doesn't necessarily always work that way, because leaving things, as you all know, creates breakdowns, right? So again, just another layer of how to speak to somebody when you actually have a better idea of what's going on inside the walk around, so. All right, walk around checklist. Tires. Now, obviously, we have a real big push to sell tires, especially as we get into a new tire season, spring season, as people take winter tires off. And for those that have storage, tires are worn out inside storage, we need to be touching these tires, right?
Are we, like, does everyone have the tool right now where they do walk around and check the tires? Or you don't have one? Okay. But you don't have one for the tires yet? Okay, so that's something that we'll take back.
Yep, tread up gauge. And again, tread up gauge, keep it simple. Green, yellow, red. 10, 30 seconds of an inch probably isn't gonna make too much sense to anybody. You know, 1 32nd of inch, okay, that probably gets somebody's attention. Look at you prepared. But yeah, talk about green, yellow, red. Green, hey, you're all good. You don't have to worry about anything going into the season. Yellow, you might need to get tires. Tires are arguably one of the biggest things you're ever gonna purchase for your car. Most people do not have the money sitting in their pocket, ready to go. So if you're trying to sell on red, be prepared that they're gonna leave your dealership and they're probably gonna get a quote from somewhere else, and they're probably gonna be upset that it's the first time you talk to them about it. Hi.
Now, we've also started another program that Waddy's been involved with TireLink, and they've given us little stickies. Okay, so there's red, green, and yellow, I believe. Okay, so fail, pass, or fair.
Yep.
And we put those on the final work order, okay? And then the customer can see it straight out.
I wanted to talk to you too about having an extra process put in. I know we have our visual sheets that are attached to the invoice, but I want the technicians to actually put tire tread depth in the frickin' work order so that when they're coming to pick up, they see what it is.
Well, they put it on the inspection
Yes,
sheet itself.
but customers always just look at it briefly.
Yeah, you
Whereas
should be
if it's
going-
in the inspection, in the MPI line, then they see it a second time, and then
Yeah,
it's
I mean-
soaking into their head
Yeah,
again.
you should be going through that inspection
Oh, we
process
do.
with them anyway.
We do.
And then if you've got that sticker on there that says fail,
Yeah.
then it's just another reminder.
But just like he said, instead of waiting, the moment it goes to red, it's already too late.
100%.
Whereas if it's constantly drilled into their head that, hey, it's coming, next season it's coming, or
And that's
next
kind of
year.
why we're testing those stickers. My hope is that you guys are never gonna use the red ones. The
Right.
packages have the same amount of green and yellow,
Yeah.
and my hope is that you never use the red ones.
They're gonna
Because the yellow ones have teed them up in advance, you know, to know this is coming, even if you can't put it together today.
And when you're putting the tires into storage, which everybody here is doing except for I think Carrie, when you're putting the tires in, as long as you're putting them in properly with the proper
It's
tread
in
depths and
there
everything,
too, yeah.
you can run your tire storage list before spring and say, these tires are down, and all these customers have 4/32 on their tires.
Yeah.
And you can start calling these customers and pre-selling those tires.
Yeah, I
That's
think
a great
that's
idea.
actually, I think that's what Steve Sparky's doing already.
Yeah, he's doing that.
Yeah.
But the assumption is that you're going through the inspection with them.
And we do,
Yeah.
but I would like it somewhere else in documentation.
Well, that's the idea of the stickers. is to-
Yeah, the
is to-
sticker and,
to have a pop of color, because as much as I would like all the stores to be printing their MPIs or whatever their version is in color, the reality is all the stores
Oh,
are
yeah,
printing in
no,
black and
It
white.
is black.
color.
Except for Sunrise Ford, who has the best technology and the best
No,
monitors in the
They,
entire group.
they're just spoiled and they don't print off as much paper.
Well, there's that, but the assumption is that you're going through the MPI with the customer and going, hey, this is what your tires are. If you've recommended tires, even if they're yellow, that there's a deferred line going, here's a quote on those tires we talked about, plus there's a sticker on their work order
I think
in
that's
yellow to go, and your tires are yellow, I mean, we're kind of driving it home at that point, I think. But there's nothing wrong, I mean, to be fair, there's some stores like at Kia, you know, one of their technicians writes the Great Canadian Novel every time she inspects a vehicle.
Well, that's how I do it too, and that's,
Tires are
it's really
always
frustrating,
loaded in
because I don't
But-
have it auto
Yeah.
dialed on my computer here.
Somebody like Fenella who does that, I know that I can open up any of her ROs and I can grab that information and I can add
Exactly,
them.
and you can see it
But
right from
I
there.
take those notes and then if I don't see that it's completed in the multi-point, I'll finish the multi-point and complete it with what her notes are, and then I'll add those lines again in the service. So really,
Yeah.
by you seeing that RO, you can grab those measurements from the multi-point and
Exactly.
just put them in your multi-point line.
Yeah.
You just add them,
No,
in
you're right.
that way.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think with the visual on the stickers, that's gonna make a huge difference, especially if tires is one of your main concerns. But remember, you're that connection with the customer, right?
Yeah.
What you want to make them work, the technician's not gonna know that. Most of the time, the technician will never speak to that customer as well, right?
I've had things implemented though at other dealerships where it would just auto-generate and you just basically fill out, so it's not wasting their time.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. Something to bring up with the service manager and just see what would work and,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. All right, warning lights. One of my key points on a walk around is to actually turn the ignition on. Don't just take a picture of the dash, just get them odometer so we can satisfy the digital check-in. Actually start the vehicle up. Oftentimes, you won't even hear from the customer that they've got an airbag light on or a check engine light on. And maybe it's a line item that you don't even is aware that it can be added on. Or Vice versa, they're here for a check engine light and you fire the car up and guess what's not on?
Check engine.
Check engine light's not on, right? So now you can speak to them a little bit more intelligently about that, right? TPM lights, all that kind of stuff. So huge part of the walk around is understanding a little bit what's wrong with the car. Windshield, wiper blades, windshields, talking to people about cracks on windshields, things like that, right? I know most of us don't have the ability to do it in our store. I think Sunrise, you guys probably do. But everybody else, it's just a matter of, again, that care. When we talked about caring, it's not just what we can touch and sell, it's also about the overall purpose of their vehicle and, you know, even the body work on the vehicle. That's really, really important to talk to people about as well. Wiper blades, obviously. So touching them, seeing them, spraying the windshield wipers and not spraying the customer in the face while you're doing it. All very good, important parts of the walk around. But people will leave and they'll be upset that they didn't have a wiper blade. Although you might be scared to sell it to them, it's important to them. And you get into that first rain and boom, your wiper blades are streaking. Who are you gonna blame? You're gonna blame the dealership that just did your oil change, right? So it happens in the drive-through when we start. Lights, light check. Pretty simple these days. Most things are LEDs. Hit the key fob button, hit the unlock button. Most of your lights will flash up. But for those of you that are doing things to that extra level, turn the lights on quickly before you start your walk around, and then do that walk around with the lights on, just so you can check to see if there's any burnt out bulbs. Something more to sell for sure. Fluid conditions. It's kind of gone by the wayside. I wouldn't say this is ever a bad thing though. Pop open the hood. You know, windshield washer fluid, the things you can see, and you know, we kind of talked about, you know, proof being in the tech video. It can happen in the drive-through. Most of those things are clear bottles and they actually have colors. And the majority of everybody here probably knows some of the normal colors fluids should look like. It's not high on the list, but it's never a bad idea for, especially for those people that want to know a little bit more. You know, you can kind of see that, you can actually kind of make a sale on that as well, right? Condition of vehicle, check for existing damage. Probably one of the biggest reasons why we do walkarounds is that liability purpose, right? Most of us do digital check-in, I think all of us do. So getting those four corner pictures, you know, taking pictures of wheels. Wheels are a good one for sure, especially as we go into tire season. People like to blame us for damaging wheels when they're just curved. It has nothing to do with us. But you know, dents, focus on those pictures and then have those ready. I can only tell you how many times it's saved our life in our dealership when somebody comes back and says, hey, I got this scratch. And then you open up the computer and you're like, there it is right there.
Mirrors especially.
Yeah. So please make sure you're getting all that because it's going to save us huge. Liability, we just talked about that. Mileage. Should have been probably up in the very, very beginning, but that is going to obviously make a huge difference on what you're going to be selling. But knowing the correct mileage is key to making those proper recommendations. And prior deferred recommendations. That can be in the needs assessment, but if you're really, really focused and you have everything in front of you, maybe you're gonna lean towards, hey, those wiper blades that we let you know about, they're not getting any better. You know, those tires that we talked about last time, they're getting less and less every single time you drive. Maybe it's time for us to take a look at it. So knowing that before you go into that walk around gives you a little bit more, you know, a little bit more fuel to your fire, right? And take pictures, digital check-in procedure. We're all required to be in that. I think we're probably in that 99 percentile now. You know, gone are the days of us being in the 80s and 90s. There's almost no reason why we shouldn't be digitally checking vehicles in, but that's pictures, mileage, VIN. All our manufacturers have different sort of, you know, I know on the Hyundai side, have to have the VIN plate from the right VIN plate, have to have the mileage, and then of course the pictures of it. But, you know, as digital check-in increases, and it is a tool that we can use, right? You can go back to it previously, it's always stored in the DMS, but yeah, making sure that we're doing the digital check-in with every single car, doesn't matter what the situation is. And the washed vehicle, whether it's in the needs assessment or the walk around, please let them know that they are gonna get a complimentary wash. JK's mandate 99.9% of every vehicle that comes through that we need to wash, we wash. So please make sure that we're following through and setting ourselves up for success on that as well when you're doing your promises, right? Running work order. Would you like me to continue?
Yeah, keep going.
Sounds good, all right.
Hey, Colin, can I just add one thing?
Of course.
I think one of the things that's really important that you guys know is if they're servicing their car anywhere else.
Huge. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So that's a question you really need to find out, because when they come in and whatever it's maintenance or whatever, the check engine light, you know, have you been servicing your car anywhere else?
Well, that should have been picked up during the needs
history.
assessment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they would have looked at the history, right?
Well, they can look at the history, but that doesn't mean someone else hasn't looked at the car,
100%.
right? So you gotta ask that question, right? And then that's gonna open up a dialogue, especially when it comes to all the recommended services. That's gonna open up a dialogue like, you know, you have been taking it here, how come? you know, we can do this, we can do that for you.
Okay.
So I think that's a really important question that you guys need to include.
Okay. And look for the Mr. Loop stickers, look for the Great Canadian Oil Change stickers, that also happens on a walk around. Take a look in that top left corner of the windshield. That tells you a lot about maybe they don't come here for a quick service because they don't know we do quick service. I also asked them why. I don't think it's too intrusive to say, hey, it doesn't look like you're servicing the vehicle here, can I ask why? Maybe that's a perfect time for the service manager to get involved. You know, maybe it is an issue that they've never brought up and they're only bringing it with warranty. Maybe they had a terrible experience way before personnel changed, who knows? But unless that kind of awkward bridge gets crossed, we can't rebuild a relationship with that customer. And it also can tell you a heck of a lot about what you're about to do with that vehicle and those key points to why we need to change things up around.
And alternatively, if they haven't brought it anywhere else, and it's been like 14,000 kilometers since the last service, I've had that conversation with people as well.
For sure.
They're like, well, where'd you take it for the last service? And they're like, well, here. Like, but it's been 14,000 kilometers. Yeah, it might have got away from me.
Yeah.
That's gonna change your presentation as well,
100%,
right?
absolutely.
You'll change
All right.
it yourself a person too.
So all vehicle information, update, correct VIN, color, license plate, vehicle options decoded. Really, really important. I've had this actually happen when we've done an engine job and we've ordered the wrong engine based on what's on the actual information just because it was wrong, right? So the color of the vehicle, technicians use those work orders to find work orders or vehicles in the parking lot. So when they're looking for something that's red and it's blank, it's kind of difficult for that. Some of our parking lots are quite big. But then just all the information, you know, do we have an up-to-date license plate? How are we going to be prepared and do exactly what JK said? The customer's driving through, you're punching in the license plate, and that doesn't bring anything up at all, right? So making sure all that is reviewed every single time is paramount. Same thing with customer complaint diagnosis lines. They need to be written in a way, and again, this goes into the legality of it, we're not allowed to say what's wrong with the customer's car. They have to tell us. It has to be their words. Otherwise, it's misconstrued that we're, you know, telling them what's wrong with their vehicle, right? So customer reports, customer says, it's got to be a version of that, and then of course what is actually wrong with the vehicle. So I'm sure majority of us are trying to do that, but let's make sure we are doing that. Think how, when, and where. We kind of talked about that in the needs assessment. Note deferred work. I'm going to probably mention that quite a few times. It's really, really, really important. For the DMS system, it's even further important to actually create a deferred line on deferred service. And the reason for that is, absolutely, okay, I was going to pick on somebody, but you already know what I'm saying. Yeah, deferred lists. It's easy stuff for us to go back. It should be kind of mined every 2 or 3 weeks. Fresh, hey, you were here 3 weeks ago, we kind of recommended this. What's our game plan? Maybe the manager gets involved, gets a second touch going, and we have an opportunity for another sale, right?
Con, I have a question.
Yeah.
So with the deferred, would you prefer that it deferred brake service, deferred transmission, deferred, or have a deferred service and have all those deferred maintenances in that one line?
Individual.
Separate lines.
And
Yeah.
separate.
Yeah.
Yeah, and really it depends on what we're talking about. I mean, we're talking about the beginning of a work order, so most of your deferred work at this point in time is going to be an info line, so you're setting the technician up for what he's looking for or what she's looking for. But as you go through and you get the recommendations, yeah, declined and deferred should be on every recommendation. That'll populate a recommended sheet for you to print out to give the customer, but then of course 2-3 weeks down the road for whatever your process is, you're going to have that list to be able to give a second phone call to.
And then it does pop up in PES again.
Correct.
When you're checking your guest in
As
next
soon as you
time.
put the mileage in, it should come up as a recommendation.
Yeah, and then like, remember like, service advisor, you're advising. So like, sometimes your advice might be, hey, you don't need to do it this time. We're gonna put it down on file, so that either the next time or the time after, we're gonna go ahead and get this done. But I think you're gonna be okay right now, so I just wanna give you advice, I'm gonna put it on your file. And then when you're back here in 3 months, 4 months, whatever, we'll try and get that, right? And so, a lot of times when you're advising them on the deferral for the next time that, you know, probably gonna need an extra hour for you to come in, but I think it's really important that you get that done next time, right? That's part of the advising, right?
Mhm.
Setting expectations and
Absolutely.
transparency.
I just want to just touch on the first comment up there about the emails, guys. The importance of this is becoming stronger and stronger with all the manufacturers right across the board. We really they're starting to measure our email capture rate. Okay, so the days that we, you know, all the customer was really upset, we take their email off. Okay, make sure, you know, like, that's not gonna help us, guys.
We
don't do that.
And they're gonna start tying those email capture rates, I'm sure, into our core money that we get from selling vehicles and so on and so forth. So we really gotta be careful, they're measuring the capture rate, So we really gotta pay attention to that email. It's an important part.
No, all the contact information you have to verify every single time.
Yeah, and really as an advisor, there should be no removing anything from it. It
No,
should be
no.
a conversation with a service manager, and I know that I'm probably gonna steal the words out of JK's mouth, but every piece of heat we get is an opportunity, right? So, you know, it's a time that if you feel like you've had a bad service with a customer, a service manager should be
That's
reaching
when
out.
the service manager should be
Yeah.
involved.
Yeah, so, and we'll talk a little bit more about that as we get into the delivery process and everything as well. But one of the newer, it's not really that new anymore, we've probably been talking about it for a year, but booking the next appointment, the dentist initiative, right? It's gonna be a CAG initiative, it is something that we must do, not just because we're asked to do it, but you have to start seeing the value in it as well. You know, so, you know, who wants to kind of give me an idea of why it's really, really important?
Well, it sets,
Anybody?
it sets precedents in their mind that they know in 6 months down the road, if they're not hitting the kilometer mark, that they're coming back in either for tire rotation, tire changeover, or some service safety repair work that needs to be done that was held off at this time. So it just allows them to mentally prepare for that, financially save money for that, and be prepared when that time comes in. That's the work that's going to
For
be
sure,
performed.
yeah, what I heard there was maybe they needed a brake job that they can't afford today. Well, you know there's a finite amount of time that they're gonna be able to drive, maybe your next appointment's gonna be based on that brake job. Hey, you know, if you don't have the money now, what about a month or 2 months, can I set up that appointment to get those brakes done, right?
I think it also shows our concern for the customer's well-being.
100%.
You had a question? Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I was just gonna kind of add to it. I was gonna say, instead of a customer coming in the next time being surprised out of nowhere, having to do for a service 3,
Yeah.
what I do on my next appointment line, I'll actually put in the service 3 as well as the
Yeah, that's
pricing
what I
below
do
it.
too.
And so they can kind of know what they're coming in for, maybe put some money aside.
Awesome.
You print out their agent sheet, give it to them.
Yeah.
Nice.
The reason why I bring this up is oftentimes when we're asked to do things, we just look at it like a task. We look at it, you know, this is something I've been told to do, you know, ownership has told us to do this, but there is a lot of positive that comes into this. And it's important to talk about that, you know, like you said, setting that customer up for the next service. Base 3s are a lot, right? They're $500 service. It'd be nice to know in 6 months I'm gonna be coming in for that, right? You know, the deferred work that I don't have the money to do right now. So, you know, it is gonna, you know, the business side of things is, we all have slow times. And there's no easy way to defeat that slow time other than having pre-booked appointments. So the Januaries and the Februaries, the Septembers when school starts to kick in, the times that appointments naturally decrease, well, the appointments are decreasing because the phone's not ringing. But there's an opportunity 6 months previous to book those appointments. So if we can get to a level of like, you know, 30% of every single day has pre-booked appointments on it, well, we're never gonna ever have to complain about work ever again, right? So I think that's just top of mind for us all to know it's a best practice for a reason, right? Make sure you use the right charge indicators, customer pay, warranty, or internal. Warranty, really important for the technicians to know that they're about to start on a warranty line. You know, maybe they need a straight time punch, maybe they have to run a certain amount of time on the line, but then it also changes how the vehicle is gonna go through service. Are we gonna talk to a warranty admin to get authorization from the manufacturer? Is this gonna be something we're gonna call the customer about? And not to mention in the tech video, it's kinda nice for the technician to speak intelligently about what's about to happen, whether something might be under warranty or they have to pay for it. Furthermore, comebacks. They should always be written up as an internal. We should always give the benefit of the doubt that we've potentially done something wrong. It's also important for the customer to know that as we write up those work orders that, you know, what they're responsible for, right? So please make sure we have the proper charge indicators. Does everyone understand what I mean by charge indicators on that?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. All right, and customer needs to sign the work order, no exceptions. You can see how I'm kind of underlying it. Just please make sure it's got to be the last thing you do. It should be as you go over the work order, make a circle, turn it over, have an opportunity for them to look it over and sign on the dotted line, right? Really,
Warranty
really
copy
important
and
for
hard copy.
that. 100%,
We
100%.
don't print our warranty codes, so our warranty clerk does that when they close it.
Depends on the manufacturer. Kia doesn't want you to get the warranty copy
That's
signed.
right. Kia
because
doesn't, yeah.
They don't want the customer to see what
Yeah.
Kia's spending.
Hyundai
Depends on
does.
your manufacturer.
Yeah.
Okay. Most manufacturers want the warranty copy signed because it's the authorization from the customer to say it, but yes, you're right, there's, you know, in the end of the day, whatever the service manager, whatever, you know, Scott and Wiley has set up, that's exactly what you should
That's what
do.
the auditors look for, right?
Yeah.
Like we just have
Exactly.
the auditor going on day, and
Yeah.
when I'm meeting these guys, when they come and audit us, they just love finding work orders at our side. And they just charge us right
Oh,
back.
yeah.
They just charge you right back 100%.
To be a $10,000 work order, they don't bat an eye, they just charge you back.
Take the whole thing back.
So it's really important.
We are going towards communication updates. Did you wanna, thought you wanted to talk about this one.
Okay, sure. Okay. Hurt my tailbone, guys. Using customer preferred method, text, call, email. We wanna hit all three, guys. So we wanna have all three. This is one where, we talked about the veterinarian, but, you know, and I've said it before, but like, we have the 3 intermissions. So you have the first one in the morning, if we were thinking of a hockey game, and you have a second intermission, which is around noon, and then you have your third one somewhere around 4 o'clock. So if someone came in at 7:30 in the morning and they're leaving the car with us and it's not a waiter, it's really important that you send a quick text or an email to them somewhere around noon, right? And I think, you know, like I don't know how it works at each dealership, but you know, sometimes our updates are only at the end of the day when the car is ready. But you know, how the update's supposed to go is it's, hey, it's John, I just want you to know your vehicle's getting processed in the shop now. The technician is going ahead and, you know, processing and doing the work that you had asked us about. We are going to get a video sent to you as well. I hope to have that in the next half hour, an hour. And right now we're still on track for the time frame that it was going to be done for around 3:30, 4 o'clock. If anything changes, I'll send you another quick text. But even asking the customer, do they want to text, do they want to call, email? Is everybody wanting, most of them want text now?
The vast majority of them I see
Yeah.
text.
And are you texting them right through PBS then?
Right through Mobi.
Mobi, okay. Okay, everybody's doing that?
Yes.
Okay, good. Whoops. The 4 mandatory updates. Vehicle received, inspection results, send tech video, authorization, completion. So that's what we want us talking about. Those are the 4 things, right? Obviously, you know, we want them to know that, hey, we're in the top of mind. The vehicle's in our care. We want to frame it that way. And then we want to be updating them constantly in all 3, right? First, second, and third intermissions, I talked about that. Con, how are you making out since we implemented that?
It's a new one. I have to admit that, you know, we just started talking about this in the last service managers meetings. I think naturally we do it, but I think there's importance to actually talk about, you know, first intermission would be kind of start of the game, right? And John mentioned this about, you know, what happens in between intermissions, what happens to players when they're in the middle of a game. Maybe they're doing well, maybe they're not doing well. It's a chance to pause, create an action plan, and move to that next second part of the business. You know, I would say that we're probably good on the first and third intermissions. At KH, we really have to really work on that second intermission. But high importance to it. I really appreciate it.
So just to let you know, kind of what I asked the service manager to do is to like, it's that timeout. It's like, okay, start of the morning, we're gonna go through how many appointments we have. Hopefully, the managers went through them. You guys have had a chance as a team to go through them. You know your history, you know how many are coming in. You know if there's any big ones, you kind of have an understanding. Well, at noon, it's like, hey guys, how are we doing so far? Are we hitting our timelines? Have you guys updated all your customers? Is there anything as a manager that I need to know about? That's what I want the managers to do. So I'm asking them to have that sort of noon update, somewhere between 12 and 1 o'clock, where they have a 15-minute huddle. Wiley, I need you to make this happen now. So we have the meeting, now you and Scott have to go back and make sure that the first, second, and thirds are happening, okay? Okay, and then the last one is, guys, how did we do today? Is there anything that I need to know about? Is there anyone where, you know, we missed a promise time? Is there anything I need to know? It's up to the managers to have a pulse. Have any of you guys watched The Pit?
Yeah.
Okay? No? Okay, so that is a pretty cool show, but basically what it's about is it's what happens in the emergency room, okay? And this head doctor is basically, he has to go in and out of all these situations and he's kind of navigating. Well, I've asked sort of the service managers to do the same thing. Well, they have to have these huddles. So, you know, if they haven't done it yet, you can be assured that probably what's going to happen is manager's going to do that. It's in the middle of the day, it's a 10-minute, hey guys, let's stop real quick. Let's have a quick huddle. Tell me what's going on with your guys' world. Because I think sometimes we're doing it once a day in the mornings, but sometimes it's too late then, right? So, Scott and Wiley, if you could follow up with the teams and find out why they haven't implemented that yet. Okay, sounds like they haven't. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of going through on the updates, like, how are we executing the updates right now at Kelowna Hyundai? You guys say that we're 100% of the time, we're
Yeah.
sending them a mid-update, okay?
We also have a backup, obviously Komobi has a lot of AI and a lot of automations. One of the things that we introduced is, as soon as the technician punches on the job, the program will actually send an update saying that your vehicle's going through the shop, it's being
Okay.
seen by a technician, so it kind of creates that,
I
that
was gonna
layer.
ask any advisors.
Oh, I'm sorry. Apologies.
What he said.
Service manager's filling out his own report card. Are we doing it every time, guys?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like keep an eye on my Komobi messages, cause you can see when the last message was sent, like it'll say 1 hour, 2 hour, and then if I see one at 2 hours, even if it hasn't gone in the shop, I just say something.
Okay.
Or there's the automatic message you talked about when it goes in the shop and the video, so.
Okay, Kelowna Kia?
Yeah, and
Every-
as soon as I check them in, they get a message, and then I always kind of tee them up. I will follow up as soon as the tech does this video with any recommendations.
Okay.
The tech does the same thing I like with our videos. They'll mention, hey, this is what we found, your service advisor will follow up
Nice.
with you shortly with a quote based on our findings today and how we want to proceed.
Okay, I like it. Sunrise, you doing the updates?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and you guys?
Yeah, for the most part, I think we are.
Yes.
Komobi's set up to do some auto-generated messages. I like to still do my texts with the technician video, but I'm still a bit old school where I like to physically pick up the phone and be like, hey, I apologize, your car hasn't gone in the shop yet. Don't worry,
Okay,
soon.
Yeah. it's all good.
We
Okay,
try to give the update after every 2 hours.
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
Okay,
2
good.
hours is my rule of thumb, 2
I like it. Okay, nice work. 10, 12, 2, that's the intermissions, I guess. Customers shouldn't go more than 2 hours, thank you. Surprise. What does everyone think that I mean when I say surprise?
If it's early,
Pardon me?
if it's early,
Yeah. We're using lots of analogies. Has anyone watched The Bear, that show?
I like that show.
Okay, so it's a fancy restaurant, and basically they try and find out as much as they can about the customer, and then their goal is every day is to try and surprise the customer somehow. So when you guys start thinking that way, is there anything I can do to, give this customer just an unbelievable experience? Is there something I can do to surprise them, right? So, in some type of communication, right? So, a surprise might be giving them some type of discount. A surprise might be, we found something on their car. It could be all kinds of things, but it's just how you do it, right? So, and then the tech videos, we want to be 90-95% guys. It builds trust. It's an expert opinion. We talked about the vet. There are experts. They're certified. They do a lot of schooling, right? The approval rate is way up when we send them a video. Highlights safety. So, again, we're framing this as caring. We want them, safe and security is a big part for customers, right? They want to feel safe and they want to secure, so we're sending them an expert technician on all the safety items that are required to protect the vehicle. Transparency. Hey, this is what we're doing. It obviously helps our hours per. We know for a fact that it's about 30 to 40% increase when we have a video. And it does help with any price injections when we have it, right? So, framed as caring. It's not a sales push, expert advice from our specialists. So, again, that's why we do it, right? How to present videos properly. Use our word track and send the tech video using Komobi every guest every time. So, and the word track's just, basically everything we put up there, guys. But it's not a sales pitch. Hey, you know what? Our expert certified technician went ahead and did a full walk around. You're going to enjoy the thing. He did find some things out that as soon as you have a chance to video it or watch the video, I'd like to go over some of the special pricing we have so that we can get this done today, right? But it's coming off confidence, and then it's not you that's giving him the advice, it's you're recommending it based on what the certified technician did, right? So you're advising, hey, I think we should go ahead with this based on what the technician told us, right? Follow up with an estimate including the work they came in for and ask for the sale. Ask if they have any questions regarding the video. I think that's a good one. Don't, don't assume sometimes that they know what we're talking about, right? You know, Perry, what's my favorite line lately? When I'm asking you to explain something, when I'm asking you to explain something to me.
Oh, explain it to you like you're a 4-year-old.
Okay? A lot of times it's like, frame it as if you're talking, you know, retell it to me as if you're talking to a 4-year-old. So don't, and my point on that is don't assume they have a clue what you're talking about. So you gotta ask them, hey, is there, you know, do you understand what I'm talking about, or, right? So it's really important because, you know, especially with women, a lot of women might not know some of the mechanical stuff, even some guys like might not know. So, you know, when you're asking them the questions, but you know, that's, you know, sometimes with technology or even Wiley sends me these big reports, sometimes I'll just say, dumb it down, please. I don't want to do 10 things, just give me the summary in one line. And I'll say, okay, yes, right? When I'm approving stuff. Fair?
Yeah, fair enough.
So try, and you're giving them this, but don't be afraid to really dummy it down and just simplify what it is you're trying to get across, right? Okay?
Can I just ask a quick question? So before you guys send the videos, are you guys talking to the technicians?
In most cases,
Sometimes.
the technician will probably come talk to us, but I have been finding a lot that they rely on the video. They're not communicating, like, technology is kind of losing that personal flair. Because
So
then it just comes through technology, right? Everything just pops up.
Yeah, and it depends, like if we understand what's in the video, then.
I always watch my video the moment it comes through though.
Yeah.
Before it
Right,
gets
but
sent
I
out.
mean, but you're not having a conversation with the technician at all?
It depends on the situation.
Yeah.
I talk to my technicians every time.
Every single time?
Every single time.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's important that you guys talk to the tech, especially with
Yeah.
recommended work. Okay?
I want to see it firsthand of why they're calling it, what is calling it before I present it to the customer, so that
Exactly.
I understand exactly what it is, and I'm confident to be able to sell it and make that recommendation to the customer.
Yeah.
Our 3 main technicians are really good at simplifying their videos. And they put everything and show everything in it.
Yeah, I mean, the technician's kind of got to sell it to you. The
Yeah.
technician's giving you the sales pitch
Yeah.
and what's wrong, what needs to be done, and then obviously you're translating that to the customer.
Yeah.
Right, but if you're not talking to the technician and just relying on the video, and then if the customer has any questions about it, then you're kind of going to be lost, especially for those advisors that, you know, don't have a huge mechanical background.
Okay, we're gonna watch the video here, guys. So in a perfect world, this is kind of.
Hey, this is Austin here from Kelowna, and I hope you're having a good afternoon so far. Just wanted to touch base with you on the vehicle post-service here. Just a couple of points that we did want to touch upon today here. One of which is going to be the cabin filter here. I would recommend replacing this with a new cabin filter. That's something that we can get done today. You can see there's lots of dirt, dust, and debris caught in the cabin filter there. So that is going to be one thing that we do recommend replacing here. Get you breathing a little bit easier in the cabin of the vehicle there. Another touch that we are going to go over today here is a mouse blocker. You can see a little bit of urination that's happening here, as well as some little footprints that we also were able to see here. So we are going to recommend a mouse blocker just to make sure that there are no rodents tempted to hang around the engine bay and potentially chew on some wires or some hoses for that matter there. It could be a whole other ball of wax on your hands. But that could be mitigated with a mouse blocker, and that's something that we can also install at this time as well. So moving on to the underside of the vehicle here, not a whole lot going on the underside here. All of your suspension components are nice and tight and in good health there, as well as the front and rear brakes as well. Able to measure them at a respectable 8 millimeters on the front and 9 millimeters on the rear. So tons of life left on the brakes there, no concerns there whatsoever. In a couple of services though, one thing you could see coming down the pipeline is a potential for a brake service there, which is in detail. It's removing the brake components, making sure that everything is nice and clean and lubricated there. And you typically see that around the 30,000 kilometer mark there, maybe just before that as well. One thing that you can also expect to see on the next service there potentially is an alignment. no indication that there is any abnormal wear at this time. However, at the 20,000 kilometer mark, or once a year, we do recommend the first alignment for the vehicle here. And you're at about 13,000 kilometers today, which would bring you very close to that 20,000 kilometer mark by the time your next service does roll around here. Other than that, I got absolutely nothing else for you at this time here. I do want to say thank you for servicing with us, and of course, do drive safe out there. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Okay. What's everyone's, let's critique it. What did you like about it?
Talk. Yeah, it seems like it's more personable, right?
Yeah.
Introducing himself, thanking at the end. I like that he's showing, right? We'll show and tell that this is the cabin filter, this is the footprints. So that's one of the things that I like about it.
Anything you noticed on it?
I think it was excellent.
Okay.
Very thorough.
Yeah.
Customers like to see thoroughness.
If you had to critique it in any way, what would it be? Anybody?
I did a walk around on the undercarriage of the vehicle in the back, but I like that he preemptively spoke about upcoming services in the future, so set that up as well.
I didn't see, I looked at my phone real quick, but did he show his face?
No.
Okay. So, that's the one thing.
You think they should?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you wanna, I mean, Hyundai certified, Dodge certified, whatever, the first thing it's gonna be like, you know, like, it's, hey, it's like, you know, you guys, same thing with dropping whiskey off to the veterinarian, you're gonna wanna see, you wanna have a look at who's operating on the dog, right? So it's, you know, like, you know what I mean? So it's the same idea on the technician. So Con, I would ask if they, Con, I would just ask if they, the first part should just be themselves. Hey, my name is John Cott. Just so you know, I'm a certified technician. I've been with Kelowna Hyundai for 7 years. I've taken all the courses. I love your vehicle, new Ioniq, whatever it is. I'm going to go ahead and go through this with you real quick. So the introduction should be just a quick thing of them, if they can. You want to write that down as far as the next tech meeting. Wiley, anything else you noticed?
Just to make that more streamlined and easier, like it might, well, I'm not sure if we do this with MobiPerry, but would it be easiest if we just had each tech pre-shoot, like a 10-second intro video, just saying like, hi, I'm Joe, I've been doing the business for X amount of time, and then we can just staple that in the front of all the videos?
That would probably slow it down, actually.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, can you write out the tech video, what you want, right? Just, you know how you broke it down for the advisors?
Yep.
Let's do it for the text too,
Yep,
Con.
totally.
Scott, so you're just gonna be like, you know, good morning, welcome, my name is John Cott, and I'm a certified technician from Okanagan Dodge. I'm gonna be doing a quick inspection on your vehicle, and here's the things that I'm looking for. Went through the undercarriage, went through the tires, went through, you know, all the things. And then I did happen to notice that there's some preventative maintenance that I think is, would be really smart for you to have a look at. We don't need to necessarily do it this time, but next time for sure, right? Okay?
One of the things too, just in that video, I think it's really important that the technician uses the customer's name.
Yeah.
Okay? Because people love hearing their name, and it gets their attention. So if you say, hi, you know, Mrs. whatever, Lutnick, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And it kind of just solidifies that that's their car.
Exactly.
You know?
Well, it does a lot of things. It certifies it's their car, it certifies that.
That we're paying attention to them.
And it makes it personable. It's like, okay, we're the experts and we're handling your car, this is your vehicle, right? So, right? Okay, objection handling, top objections. Not today. Too expensive, I'll wait, need to think, just do minimum. I have another shop or mechanic, I'll do the work myself, I don't trust you.
For a second phase.
So this is where we kind of have to isolate it, and this is why we do the second intermissions and third intermissions, where you just want to bounce things off the manager and find out, you know, if we don't know the objection, then they just kind of like, you know, if it's not today, you know what, no problem, I'll go ahead and put it on your file so that we can get it done on one of your next visits. If it's too expensive, you don't understand, you probably weren't expecting that, you just came in for a quick service. This is a big one. You know what, it is a safety item. I am gonna go talk to my service manager, because I think it's really important that we have a look at it. Let me see whether we can rebook it in at a discount or whatever, but let me go talk to my supervisor and see, because it's really important, right? I'll wait, okay, no problem, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the file. Need to think about it, you know, like some partners, right? They're gonna wanna talk to their husband, wanna talk to their wife, this and that. On those ones, I would say, hey, can I give you a call back within the next hour? Because I'd like to go ahead and get the work done while it's in the shop, and get the parts ordered. And then just 2 minutes, just say, hey, you know, they're saying that, just so you know, like, the reason why we're talking to you, this stuff is based on, you know, the health of the vehicle. We want it to last longer, performance and whatnot. Obviously, resale is pretty important too, to keep your vehicle maintained. We should never lose any work to another shop or mechanic. That's the service manager's role, is if that's happening, then he's not doing his job, which is, he should be involved in, and that's where the second phase comes in, right? Does everyone know what I mean by second phase? So it's second phase is basically is when we find that when you're overcoming objections, and sometimes, you know, we have it in finance office, we have it in sales managers where the GM goes in sometimes on a deal, or it would be no different. What can happen sometimes is the advisor doesn't want to do that because of their own ego, because they want to just handle everything themselves. But in this particular case, we know for a fact, it's like having that, even if you watch that show, The Pit, the doctors are going and getting a second opinion from another expert. So you have to frame it that way. I'm going ahead and need another second opinion, and that's when the second phase comes in and says, just so you know, I also agree with Christina, this is really important, you know, and then that's what the second phase is for. It's like the second expert opinion has come in and helped, and we know for a fact that customers feel better when they do, and it basically, if you do a second phase when someone says no, 50% of the time, the second phase, so that's a high ratio, 50% of them will turn the objection. When you don't do a second phase, you're kind of rolling the dice. You might be really good and overcoming them yourself, but if you got a second phase involved, 50% of the time, okay, they will change their mind. So that's why we want to do the second phases, and you guys have to lead it. You have to say, hey, Tom, I need a second phase. He'll know what if you say the word second phase, he's going to know what you mean. Sam, I need a second phase on this, right?
It builds trust too,
Yeah.
with reiteration.
Yeah, so it's really important that you guys, however you want to call it, whether you're the quarterback and someone else is the receiver, or you want to play volleyball and someone's setting the ball and someone's spiking it, it's the same thing. That's what the second phase is. You have to use your managers, but it's really up to you guys because they're busy. Not like they're sitting in their office doing nothing, but you got to come and say, hey, and use these word trucks. I want a second phase. This is why the customer, okay, is giving me an objection like this, and I think you coming in and just, at least booking it for next time or reiterating this is what I've told them so far, right? And the managers are expected to go in on the second phase. So I don't think it's happening at a high level right now. Can I just kind of go around the room? Is Tom coming out and doing second phases yet? You can be honest. Not very often.
I don't know.
Okay.
I
Are
was-
you, Con coming out and doing second phases, or like, is it once a day, is it once a month, what is it?
Yeah, it's case by case, like,
Yeah.
I'll take stuff to the management to be like, hey, I've done A, B, C, can you give this customer a call? And, they're denying the breaks, and it's really important, right? So I do get them involved when I do meet. I think with objections, personally, I think the best way to overcome them is just beforehand. Like if you're building the relationship at the beginning and you're asking the right probing questions, then you're gonna have minimal objections to begin with. So,
Right.
I saw some beads of sweat on Con.
Oh. Hey, this is how we get better. There's no, I wouldn't be good at what I did if I actually thought it was happening at a high level. I know which stores it happens and which ones it isn't. That's why I'm own a business. But I know that the managers need to do more of them. Con, right?
Always.
Okay. Is Shia doing them at Kia or not really?
She does. It's not every single time, but she tries. At most, when she hears myself or Melvin trying to go through objections or trying to handle them, she will come out.
Okay, so I'd kind of like to put it on you guys. I'd like you guys to find one customer a day, but the manager does a second phase.
See, and I think I'm very independent. That's why I said no, is because.
I know, but do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
You could be, you're hurting
Yeah.
the team, like, and it's not that you probably don't, I'm sure that you close and you have great CSI and whatever, but when you think about it psychological, what the customer thinks when all of a sudden you thought enough about them. Like when I go to a restaurant, okay, I might have the greatest server, but I feel really important if a manager comes and says, "Hey John, nice to see you again." I feel really important. It's like, "Hey, it's good to see you, I just wanted to come over, how did everything go today?" That's a second phase. They did that on purpose, right? Most managers that own restaurants, if you are a regular, will come and say, "Hi." Perry, why are you laughing?
I feel that sometimes when we talk about what we're supposed to do in meetings and then what we do in real life, I think we all kind of hedge a little bit on our processes. So that's why I think these meetings are so important, is like, let's be honest, guys, of what we're doing in the room, because that's the only way we're gonna get better.
Okay, but I think my challenge to you is you guys picking a customer out and saying, I'm going to Tom, and going to Shia, and going to Sam, and saying, "Hey, I need you to do a second phase here, and this is why." A, could be because of a customer experience, maybe we didn't hit the timeline, or it could be an opportunity for them that you actually think that, that they're not going ahead with all the preventative maintenance or safety items that they can do, right?
When you say second phase, like, can it also be a phone call, or do you mean
Yeah.
in person?
It can be a second phase.
Okay.
It can be a phone call, yeah.
Yeah, the customer's not in-house yet.
Yeah, that's still considered a
That's a
second.
lot of our businesses, like texting and phone.
Yeah, so that would be, again, I want you to think about the fancy restaurants when you meet the manager. You've all been there.
Yeah.
Okay, they come over and they say hello to you. How was the server today? How was this and that? Well, just using that analogy, using that concept with the customer. My manager wants to call you and see how I did today. Could be just about that. Even though that's not really why he's calling to talk to them about something else, but it can be as simple as, "Hey, we take a lot of pride in what we do here at Okanagan Dodge. My manager likes to call customers sometimes, and he's just gonna ask you how he did today, and I think he's gonna probably wanna talk to you about some of these things that the technician talked to you about, just so you understand how important it is, right?"
That's probably one of the main takeaways from today, is get comfortable talking to your service manager about the cars that are coming to the shop. Because otherwise, if you wait until it's like, you feel like it has to escalate or to a certain amount of heat or something before you're gonna let the manager talk to them, that is 100% the opposite of what we talked about in the parts and service managers meetings. I've said that to most of the parts managers as well in the last week when I've been doing their one-on-ones, is you need the parts advisors to get comfortable talking to you when things aren't going well. And you guys have this as well, probably more than parts does. They're on a phone call with somebody and it's not going great. I'm kind of calling it the strategic tap out kind of thing, to say, we'll just put it on hold for 1 second. I'm just gonna, my manager's more experienced with this particular thing than I am. I'm just gonna get in for you. And we need to remove that barrier mentally of, if I refer this to my service manager or parts manager, whatever, this is a failure on my part. Because I can tell you, as a previous parts manager, having heard some of the phone calls and stuff, like, buddy, stop arguing with this customer, just let me talk to him. Like, I don't want you to struggle. And the same thing if you're talking to somebody about maintenance or whatever, and they're struggling, or they're like, the conversation's not going well, just strategic tap out. Just, I'm gonna put you on for 1 minute, I'm gonna get Tom, he's much more experienced at these things than I am. And you go explain to Tom or to whoever, to Connor, like, this
Yeah, if there's
conversation's not
ever
going
a
great.
personality, if
Yeah.
there's ever any time that there would be a personality sort of correction where you're not, you and the customer are not on the same page, you have to do that.
Oh, Bindu's actually been very good. She'll even, "Christina, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I need your help." And I'm like, "Okay, no Well,
But with Wiley's point, it's
Every
really
time I
important,
ask
guys.
Tom-
It's not a failure to get
Yeah.
your service
Okay,
manager.
Go ahead, sir. That's right.
Yes, every time I ask Tom for a second phase, he always helped me. Like if we not ask, then I don't think so we'll get help, but I think Tom always helped.
Yeah, and that's, I'm glad that he helps when you ask him, but I want there to be more of a habit, okay? I want it to be a habit where the service managers are doing second phases every single day. Wiley and Scott, we just had the meeting now, so we gotta start implementing these things.
I've said those words, I've done all the parts manager one-on-ones except for one, which is coming up.
Okay, so
I've
we've gotta
said those
implement these
exact
things
words.
from the meeting now. Okay. Let's keep going here. See, I'm in second touch. Okay, finalizing payment. Be prepared. Doesn't match the quote. If it doesn't, you gotta tell them why. Reread the text stories and make sure it makes sense to them. Again, that was the, tell it to me like I'm 4 years old, please. That's my favorite line right now, because I'm making lots of decisions. I want it very simplified. Have the paperwork ready. Is the car washed? We're not washing the service washes?
We are,
At Sunrise, we don't wash them?
Sunrise, they don't. The water's so hard, it just,
Pardon me?
the water's
Oh,
so hard that
yeah.
it just kills the paint.
It's horrible. It's, there's a lot of sulfur and calcium out there. You need a softener, a really good water softener. Yeah.
Well, can you look into that? We gotta be washing the cars in today's business. Okay. It's an excuse. Okay. Don't tell a customer to pick up the car if it isn't ready, pretty standard. Where's the car? Where are the keys? Are we ready for them? Review the work order and MPI with customer. Take payment. Drive the car around, walk the customer to the car. So this would be one where, I talked about it sometimes where, and I've seen everybody do it, where we've done everything perfect. The tech video was perfect, you guys updated them perfect, they came to pick up the car, we got the money, and then I'm leaving at 5 o'clock, and I see the customer looking around for his car. Would that be how we'd want to finish our day off with them? Right? We did everything else right, but we didn't make sure they knew where their car was parked, and then they spent 5 minutes, like they're at the airport and couldn't remember where the car's parked, and they walk around and kind of, so, don't assume they know where the car is, don't assume they know our lot, so you gotta, hey, just so you know, let me walk you out to your car, you already know which stall it is, and you walk them out if you can and say, hey, listen, just so you know, your car's parked there, thanks again. I might even do that handshake again. Say, thanks again for doing business with us, I look forward to seeing you in 3 months, right? But walking the customer to the car, or worst case, if you're busy, making sure they know where the car is. I've seen a lot of us fail on that just because, it happens at Kelowna Hyundai. It's a pretty crammed up place where the car's parked out back on and they don't know where. Gotta fix that, right?
Yeah, we always drive around front.
Okay.
Definitely our main focus.
Okay. What do I mean by review the survey with the customer on the report card? Anybody want to go that word track with me? Sean?
Me?
Yeah,
Do you want like the exact speech?
I want how you do it.
Well, how I do it?
Yeah.
Well, at the end of the service, once I've gone over the MPI, get paid, I always just, like, all right, just to wrap up here, and customer service is very important to me. How would you say your experience was today? Let them talk a little bit. If they say it was great, I say awesome, I'm glad to hear that. You may get a survey from Hyundai in a few days, just about how I did as a service advisor today. It's very important to me, just so you are aware, and anything below that 9 or 10 out of 10 score is considered a fail to me, so even if an 8 may seem like a great score in Hyundai's eyes, it is not.
Yeah.
Is there any reason that you wouldn't be comfortable giving me that 10 out of 10? Typically, people say, no, you were awesome, happy to do that. I say, great, I will follow up with you in a couple days. If anything comes up, please feel free to reach out to me.
Nice, I thought she nailed it, right? Yeah.
Do you get them to fill out a report card?
Sometimes, yeah. I will admit I don't do it every time, but.
I always have the report card.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm going through it as I'm talking.
Yeah, I always show it to people, absolutely, I say this is kind of an example of what it may look like, but I don't always get them to fill it out.
Yeah, so that's the one, setting the stage, guys, that they're gonna be getting the survey. I liked, you know, we take a lot of pride in what we're doing here. You know, we really appreciate you going ahead and filling it out. And I liked how she identified that, you know, if we don't tell the customer what a fail is, anything lower than a 9 is a fail. And you're gonna be getting the survey within the next couple days, right? So, that's, and then what's the wow factor? And this is just one where I talked about, you know, walking the person to the car or whatever, but, you know, if you can end with some type of wow factor on something, and, you know, whether it's laughing with the customer, whether it's doing something, that's giving them something to remember you by. That energy sometimes is really important, just as important at the end of them coming in as it is in the first, you know what I mean? I'll give you another example, because we're doing lots of examples about the restaurant. I have this beautiful meal. I have the steak, I have everything. I get a cappuccino, I get the dessert. The food was great. But now I'm ready to go. Now I'm ready to go. I put my visa on the table, and then the server takes 10, 15 minutes to come by. Okay? Do you understand how that end part, like, they did everything perfect right up into that, and then they were not aware. They were not aware that my time was important after the meal, just as important it was during the meal. Now I'm ready to go. I don't know, however sometimes after you've eaten too much and whatever, and then you just want to get away from the food, you know what I mean? Or you want to get out of the building, you want to go for a walk. I hate having to wait for that. It's my biggest pet peeve at some of these fancy restaurants. You know, the server did everything perfect. He was so focused on bringing the food out and like talking to me during the meal, and came and updated me and came and seen how my food was.
While your mouth was full.
Yeah, all the time. He did everything right, but guess what? I was ready, when I was done, he came and cleaned them off, but now I'm ready to go. And he wasn't in sync with me, knowing that, okay, this guy puts his visa on the table, then he's ready to go. And probably should go check out his money, you know, within the next 3, why are you laughing, Perry?
Because let's be honest, you give them 15 seconds to give you the money.
No. I waited there for 10 minutes.
I swear to God, it's like as soon as you put it down, where the hell are they?
It honestly drives me nuts too.
Yeah.
If I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. I'll actually even ask the waiter, like, while I'm still eating, I'll be like, can you make sure that bill is here?
Yeah. I'm just saying, if there was still a drink to do, or if there was still some food to eat, I get it. But I'm talking about when I'm done. Then I think, you know, and so the same analogy is here. Let's make sure that we're wowing them at the end. Because you can wow them at the start, but then at the end, if we don't make sure that, you know, we hit, you know, they know where the vehicle is, that they were happy with the way we checked them out as a customer, you know, the keys. Hopefully we washed the car for them, right? And go from there. Okay, break, guys. So we'll have a break for 15 minutes, okay, guys? The CSI NPS, what is your dealership goal regarding customer experience? We're just gonna go around the room and everybody kind of tell me if they know what the dealership's goal is. Start off with you guys here at Okanagan Dodge. You know? At Okanagan?
Well, I think it would be pretty general, pretty much at any dealership, but I don't honestly know what ours is.
Okay, that's what I want to know.
So-
Scott? They don't know.
Should be it's 85%, right?
Oh, yeah, no, okay.
Okay, summarize?
CSI scores.
You wanna know what our goal is?
Yeah, do you know what we have to be, like, what the scores are for Ford?
CSI scores.
CSI?
No.
Okay, that's a fair comment. Do you know Kia?
I believe 95%.
Yeah. Genesis, do you know?
Our goal is always 100, I would
Okay.
say, is what
Yep.
we're pushing for, yeah.
Kelowna Hyundai? Is it detailed? Do you guys know what the MPS is? Do you know what the regional average is?
Shoot for 90, you'd say.
We shoot for 90, but I think the average is around 77, 78.
Okay.
When you guys are giving numbers right now, are you guys giving numbers for the NPS score or CX scores, or what's the number you're
Actually,
giving?
I do know what ours are. It's 840 for CSI, and NPS is supposed to be 90.
90
Okay.
guys?
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
Which is 95.7.
Okay, and just a real quick question, does everybody know what an MPS score is?
And how it's
Net
calculated?
Promoter Score.
Net Promoter Score, nice.
Yeah.
That's correct. And does anybody else who's not a manager know how it's calculated?
No.
So there's only one question on the entire survey that affects your MPS score. Are you guys all aware of that?
Is that what fits
So when you guys get your scores every month, you're like, you're at a 90% MPS, you're at 80% MPS, or whatever your score is on your surveys. Out of all the questions on the survey, there could be, every manufacturer's different. Some manufacturers, I think there's 25 questions, some are 15, but multiple pages. There's only one single question that affects your MPS score. So if the customer fills out 24 of the questions, all 10 out of 10s, 100%, but they answer one question different, that's only question affects your MPS. Does anybody know what the question is?
Was it fixed rate?
Nope,
Fixed
nope,
versus
that's
its
not it,
own index.
right? This is why it's so important. The only question the MPS matters is, would you recommend this dealership again and come back? So if the customer answers no to that question, you get a 0 MPS. If the customer answers yes, you get 100, then it takes the balance of both. And that's how your score is calculated. So when we're trying to hit these targets, I just want to make sure you guys are all aware, because Dodge has the CX, which is what Christina said, which was the, I think it's 840 right now, or sorry,
Yeah,
940?
it's 840, and
And then the actual MPS score is different, so but the MPS at every single brand is the exact same. It's whether you're Kia, Hyundai, Genesis, NPS, all that matters is that one question. Now the points are different, so when we're asking for 10 out of 10 on the survey, 10 out of 10 on those questions, and was your car clean? Those questions affect your CX points and your CSI, which is different, but the actual NPS score itself is just one question and that's it, okay? So I just wanted to clarify that for everybody.
Okay, no, good points. 2-minute greeting, we talked about, concierge style greeting and handshake, so, again, if you think about a hotel with the concierge, that's, we're going over a lot of stuff here, but that's kind of the kind of welcome and greeting that we want. No pressure upselling. What do I mean by when I say no pressure upselling, Con?
You have to get this done. I've been told you have to get this done. There's no care, it's just, get this done, no empathy, no nothing.
Yeah, so a lot of times, one of the, if you look at comments or whatever, people don't wanna spend money on things they don't think they need, right? So, if we come across that we're just, when Scott goes through all the BG stuff, is it stuff they need to do, and why should they do it, and what's the benefits? So, no pressure upselling would be when you're showing the benefit and value. So, whenever we're presenting something, there should be a benefit and there should be value. Great. Rollout tech bridges, safety, second phase manager, we talked about that. Scott, we really want to make sure the managers understand the standard for that. 100% must happen in every department. Training, how much training should happen? So how are we doing on all our training through the manufacturers right now? Do you have all yours done?
No, but
Okay.
I do it whenever I have a free moment.
Okay.
Same as with me.
Okay.
Whenever I get a chance, I will just look at the video.
Okay. Yourself?
What training or?
Like
board
for-
training?
Yeah, there's 4 training. Okay.
0.
Okay. Wiley, you write that down now?
Yep.
Yeah. How about you guys? Do you guys have the Hyundai training done?
Yeah, I just did my VILP yesterday, so next up is master.
Yeah.
Did the last one.
Nice, yeah, master's last.
Okay. Yourself?
I'm on almost finished the intermediate
Okay.
level. I just have a couple of the videos to do, or the Zoom calls.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've got it.
Nice. Yourself, Genesis?
I think I'm sitting at 96 or 97%.
Okay.
I want to say I have one more to go through and fully complete, and then I should be sitting at 100.
Okay.
Yeah.
Adam?
I'm 57% through my master's right now.
Okay. So you have 1 or 2 to get done then?
Yeah, live courses.
Okay. And then these are things with the workshops, guys, so, you know, what we train as a team, products we sell, people skills, wowing customers, and follow-up. We talked about updating again. What is our follow-up like on the internet service call-ins? Every customer is our guest culture. Do they feel welcome? Do they feel special? Do they feel like a guest in your home? And do they feel like leaving, like what Brandon just said, where they recommend, I enjoyed this experience, right? That's really your goal, right? Is there a customer experience culture? So like, you know, are we talking about the President's Award that we just won, and do they know that, you know, we're trying to give them exceptional service, right? So if you daily reviews posted in the office, and the wow factor. Personalization, so knowing your customer's name, things like that. First impressions matter. The transparency on the pricing. Here's a big one, resolve and recover. That's when, you know, there is a problem. And just identifying that, you know, when stuff gets to me, it's usually, it wasn't dealt with quick enough, right? So if there is an issue, trying to call the customer back immediately if you know there's an issue. Like, I'll give you a prime example would be, they came in and got their vehicle worked on, and then they took it home, and then they either, let's say, had an oil leak, or let's say maybe the fix didn't get done, and it's exactly the same thing. How do you guys, what would, in a perfect world, how do you think you should handle that? So Mr. and Mrs. Customer call back the day after that they had the vehicle. How do you think we should approach that?
Bring it right in, right now.
Yeah.
Bring it to me.
Yeah, so that would be one where it's like, no matter what, if we gotta recover, we gotta do it immediately, right? We gotta own the issue, and then customer resolution policy, we're rolling that out. I talked about the rant and rave. That was just one because we didn't resolve it quick enough. We didn't take ownership of it. You can provide a small credit, you know, if there's something we screwed up, then you and the manager should be able to do something for the customer, right, when we screw up. So everyone wants some, you know, a 10% discount or something like that isn't gonna kill us. And then this one, it just says surprise the customer, right? You can do other things. The Bear series stories, so that's the one where, you know, they always try and get enough about the customer. If you watch that show at all, where they try and bring out some different type of dish or something that the customer liked or wanted, and they, you know, surprised the customer. The car wash, you know, how does it look? Did you walk around it? Unexpected thank you. I think, like, I'll give you an example for Fairmont. Sometimes I'll get a little card in my room. They'll say, just want to thank you for doing business with us, Mr. Cott. I thought that, you know, service reminders, we want framed as carry and carry, the way we're doing these reminders now. And then kindness is the ultimate strength in both business and life. So, and I think we're pretty good at that, guys, so, but it's just a reminder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's one of just pre-visit videos, like someone you know that I've asked Con and some of the managers to do this. If you know, someone doesn't know how to get to us, you know, are you sending them the link for address, things like that. Okay, we have a little workshop here. So we're gonna get into groups. So basically, you guys are going to, how does this work here? Okay, so Carrie and Olivia, is that right? Do I have that right?
Yep.
Okay, so you guys are gonna book each, you're each gonna do the opposite dealerships. And you're gonna try and book an oil change and try and get it in the same day. I want you guys to kind of see how another dealership's doing it. So Adam, you would do Kelowna Hyundai. Christina, you would do Kia. So if you guys want to take the next 10 minutes and see if you're using a 2003 Elantra, all makes and models, and you're trying to get your car in for service, and I want you to try not your dealership, but the other dealership. I want you to see the experience, and then you're going to rate them on how they did. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and jump into groups on that. Okay?
Can I just go back to that page?
Yep. Okay, so go ahead and take your time with your cell phones. So you're doing, whoever you're partnered with, you're doing their store and they're doing you, okay? And then you're gonna take notes on, did they not have some work to do to take back to their managers? I want you guys taking notes on what the findings were. And we'll send a summary email back to managers. So, and then make sure something gets done on it, okay? Because obviously.
Recording that feedback right now, so if everybody can
Okay.
speak,
All right.
speak loudly.
So who did you call?
I called Hyundai,
Yeah,
Which Hyundai?
here.
Kelowna Hyundai, okay?
Okay. I let her know I was from out of town, very accommodating, I was really pleased with that.
Who did you talk to?
I can't remember her name.
Okay.
She did fit me in for 1 o'clock today. She did put me on hold just to see if that was gonna be a possibility. The hold was super short,
Yeah,
which was also quite pleasant because I know people don't like being stuck on ignore
yeah.
for long. She did not create a customer file. She asked me my first and last name and that was it, and where I was from.
okay,
Didn't ask for address,
okay.
which I find kind of disappointing because I think
Yeah.
everybody should be entered in.
Did she ask for your phone number or email?
Nope.
Okay.
No setting of expectations for the appointment. She just said, yeah, we'll fit you in. I don't know how long it's gonna take,
Okay,
but I can get you in at 1.
okay, so
It was, I'd say I give it about a 7. I was
7 out of
pleased.
10? Okay, so her energy and stuff was good on the
Yeah,
phone now?
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Hi.
Who did you call?
I called in Kelowna Hyundai.
Yes,
And I spoke with Patricia,
okay,
and she was good. She
Yeah.
explained me everything, that how much is the oil change with the taxes and everything. And she tries to fit me in according to my convenience.
yeah,
And she told me everything that the time is to just to see the advisor, setting the right expectations.
yeah,
And I think she explained me very well. If they do the multi-point inspection on the vehicle and it's complimentary, they also have another one.
Okay.
That they can check my brakes and everything. And
Nice.
if it needs more time, it's good if I have more time to go through the vehicle.
okay,
And I think she was good. Based on my experience with the appointment coordinators, I can give her 9.
9, wow, that's a pretty good one. Right, who did you, call?
I called Genesis,
Yeah,
so, when they picked up, I couldn't even understand what they said, so I had to go, is this Genesis? And they were like, oh, yes, yes it is. Can I talk to service? They're busy right now, can I take a message? And so that's all I got, and I still
Okay.
haven't gotten a phone call back.
okay, and you gave them your name and number?
Gave him my name, number, and, that was at 11:34.
Okay, so we're gonna let Fahad know, right? Okay, who's next here?
Me?
Yeah, go
Me?
ahead.
I called Sunrise Ford. The first time I called, I was transferred over to the service department, got voicemail. I called back after that. I was told Sam was on the other line and she offered me to hold or to wait and call back. I said, okay, I'll just call back in a few minutes. Called back. Then I was transferred over to Sam again. I was on hold for 4 minutes and 25 seconds. There was no availability today, so he booked me in for 8 a.m. tomorrow. He only asked for my last name, so phone number, email, anything of that was missing. Kilometers would have been missing. But he was very pleasant, and he said thank you for your patience and your time, and I'll see you tomorrow, and it was
Okay.
very pleasant that
So all
way.
he had was your last name?
All he had was my last name.
Karen Bouet.
Not really.
He asked you what kind of car you
Okay,
had?
so,
Not
Or
exactly.
you told him what kind of car you
I
had?
said I was driving in a 2023 Bronco,
Okay.
and then just my last name, yeah.
okay, you guys did Okanagan Dodge?
Yeah, I called Okanagan Dodge. I was on hold first for about 6 minutes, 6.5 minutes. Then someone did pick up and asked what I was waiting for. I said I'm waiting to book an appointment for service. Went back on hold for about 2 minutes. I'm not sure who answered the phone. There was no name, but they were very nice. Like tone and energy were really good. They didn't ask for my mileage. They didn't ask for email or address or anything. Just the vehicle I drove. Wasn't able to book me for today, but I did get in for tomorrow, so there was no other recommendations other than the oil change.
Okay. Okay, so you wouldn't give that a pretty high a number?
I mean, they were very nice, so I gotta give them points for that. Like, I
Yeah.
did feel like, you know, she thanked me for my time and everything.
Yeah. If you were a
But-
customer, would you wait 6 minutes?
Probably not, I probably would've hung up and called back, to be honest.
Or called Kelowna Chrysler.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably say like about a 5.
Okay. Right on. Okay, yourself?
Yeah, first, I made 2 phone calls. First,
You were Okanagan Dodge too?
Dodge as well.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I made 2 phone calls. First one I went through the prompts and got to service. Rang for about a minute, and then the voicemail popped on, so nobody had answered. So second time I phoned in, I called and just hit the reception button. It rang for about 30 seconds roughly. Somebody picked me up the call and sent me over to somebody else. They picked up quite quickly. It was Sam. I had to ask for her name. I did ask if I could get an appointment today. She sounded very unsure. So she put me on a quick hold, which was pretty quick. Came back and then said, if you leave it with us for the day, then that would be fine. She's pretty unsure about a lot of things. There's lots of pausing, wasn't very many questions about the vehicle or about my mileage or anything like that. So.
Okay. Adam, what'd you have there?
I had Hyundai here.
Okay.
So I called, receptionist picked up in first 27 seconds. I asked for service. I was on hold for 5 minutes. Andrew picked up. I said I'd wait for service. He said, sorry, let me get you to the right person that can help you. I was put back on hold for another 3 minutes. Receptionist then picked back up and said, sorry, nobody's available. Can I take a message? And I said, no, thank you.
Okay. That's not very good, eh? Con?
No. Yeah, no excuses, obviously, no.
Okay, so this stuff happens in our businesses every day, guys, you know what I mean? So like, this was just a prime example of, you know, what our customers are going through, right? So we're spending lots of time talking about what to do with customers, but I mean, we're not even getting on base here sometimes, right? We're not even passing, they're not even getting to you guys sometimes, right? So, you know, that'll be something that we'll definitely take back and improve it. I mean, it sounds like when we're short-staffed, this is when we really drop the ball, so we gotta kind of come up with proper procedures when we only have one advisor or when we don't have people, and make sure that we're getting that stuff done, right? So, yeah, I mean, I just wanted you guys to experience it. So you guys kind of have an understanding of, you know, I'd like you to take back to your managers, you know, this is what happened, I seen it firsthand, and kind of help be the part of the solution, right? So, okay. All right, so again, a lot of this is follow-up again, guys, so obviously, we spent a lot of time on this stuff. And I don't think I have to go through them again, stuff we've already talked to. So, what time do we have? We have 11:53. So I think we'll break for lunch, and we'll break right till like 12:45, guys. And then Scott, you have the next, we have the guilds, and then we have these, the maintenance, okay?
Yep.
Okay, so let's break, guys, for 12:45. We've got tacos and some takeaways so far from the first half of the meeting. Anything that kind of stood out that you can take back and apply to your stores or whatever, so. Paul, anything you want to start the team?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so notes about the tech video, just the technician intro, and then to build a tech video roadmap like we've done for the advisors.
Yeah.
Making sure we use the customer name, that was definitely good information. Do more second faces with the team. I mean, obviously, I think I might do a good job, but the team might need some more support, so that's good feedback. Second intermission, we do good with the first and the third, but definitely need to get that 12 o'clock. Where are we at, what's going on? Obviously, the phone as well. 2 out of 3 is still not great. So yeah, no, lots of notes as we go into the afternoon here.
Okay. Yourself?
I like the we care,
Yeah.
be a detective, and you know, just constantly improve and make sure we're booking that next appointment. And I like putting what you said, putting the service into your next. I like that. That's something that I haven't done. I've only just made the next appointment and kind of verbalize what the next service is. But so now I'm going to add what that service is into that appointment and just keep going.
Nice. Wiley?
Double checking the first, second, and third intermissions, washing cars at sunrise, and verifying the Ford training at SRF.
Okay, good. Olivia?
I have the updates and the follow-ups throughout the day that I think we could improve on at Genesis. Just going through like the actual checklist itself. I know Claudius is doing that, but I'm gonna get myself familiarized with that a little bit for when I'm covering. And then the second face I think is really good as well. I think Claudius probably grabs you for most of it, but I always grab you for most of my stuff too, but that's a good thing to know for sure.
Nice. Yourself?
The updates for throughout the day to get better at that. Also, at the end of walking the customer out, at the end, the handshaking, just more of those personal touches.
Yeah, nice, I like it. Shannon?
I like the setting yourself up to call someone, like if they say I need to talk to my husband or wife, setting a time, okay, can I call you in an hour? I like that.
Okay, we'll work on the objections, good. Yourself?
Technicians need to show their face in the videos. It's more about technicians that if they introduce the customer's name and everything, that makes a good impression. Other than that, if I'm answering the calls, I will take the customer's personal information as well, not just the vehicle information like their email and their address. And
Any takeaways there, Jordan?
Just the.
You're memorizing them all, I see, eh?
Just a midday update is kind of the biggest thing. So, even if somebody's, not gonna pick it up till later on in the day, still letting them know, like, hey, we're still on schedule for this, right?
Yeah.
So that's something, that I gotta take away and do a little bit better with. Great with the morning, great with the closing, but the midday thing is one. I gotta work on a little bit better.
Okay, nice, I like it.
I agree with that, actually. I fully feel that I lack at calling around noon just to say, hey.
Nice.
I think we doing that mystery shopping that we all need to work on phones.
Yeah.
I really like the fact that you broke down the Net Promoter Score and what question on the CSI that addresses. It was very helpful.
Brando?
Yeah, I had some good notes from the first meeting there. Talking about the survey scores, I think it's important that every service manager has a meeting with their team, that every person in their department is aware of how the NPS is calculated. Every brand and manufacturer has different ways on their CX points, which is the actual CSI score, but the NPS is separate. So I think it's imperative that everybody knows how it's calculated, and that's how you know your score is going up. So I think making sure that we have the surveys printed and we go through them was really good for our execution. And then obviously the mystery shop, I think like 50% of our stores kind of failed that. I think we need a clear-cut process on what happens on when a phone call can't be answered. I think 3 of the stores went to voicemail, and then the other half kept ringing, and then other staff members picked it up. I think it's important that we have a set process, like if they're going to the voicemail, who's checking the voicemail, service reception, and how often, right? Or if it gets bounced back to somebody else, what's the process for other staff taking the call, right? So I think at some of the stores right now, it gets bounced to a different staff member, and I can tell you right now, when I was a sales guy on the floor, if I pick up a service call, I wasn't the most attentive or caring as I probably should be, right? It's, oh, you're here for service, okay, put on hold, pick a page, move on with the day, right? So I think as a group, we have room to improve there to make sure those calls are answered, because even on our exercise, I think like, I'm not waiting on hold for 6 minutes. I'm not calling back if it goes to a voicemail. If I can't talk to somebody right now and get my question answered, I'm done. So, and I think that the average consumer, especially anybody under the age of 35, is probably closer to my my mentality as well. So, those are my take backs.
Scott?
I think the report card thing kind of shocked me that we weren't filling them out all the time. I mean, we've got to get back to that. Every store, all the time, those report cards need to be filled out. We need to make sure that we're personalizing them. This is my measurement. How can I do this? How did I service you today? As opposed to parking lot issues or dealerships, the roofs falling in. How did I service you today? That's a big part of it. The videos, obviously, with the technician showing their face, just give that a little bit more of a personal touch. In regard to the phones, this has been an ongoing issue for forever. I think Perry's got a solution to that coming shortly, and I think he might be talking about that today, which will assist us. It's not the end all to be all, but it's certainly gonna assist us. We still have to be attentive on every phone call that comes in. That's your paycheck, guys. That's a paycheck. So every time the phone rings, just think, that could be $100 in your jeans. Or more. So if you look at it like that, I think you're gonna be a little more attentive to pick up that phone and really try to be on top of it.
Okay, good. I think there's a miscommunication with me and Perry on the tech videos. I just wanna reconfirm that. I do think that it would be beneficial that all the techs company-wide shoot a 15-second intro video. Like, hey, I'm Joe. I've been a Red Seal technician for 10 years. I'm working at Hyundai.
On something, then they could just add on to it?
And then every time they sign onto the work order, rather than us sending an automated text message, we send that video of the tech. So as soon as the tech jumps on the work order, that intro video gets sent automatically to every customer.
But then I think we're gonna over-inundate the customer, because the minute the customer comes in and's checked in, they get a Komobi message saying, I'm your service advisor for the day, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Then you're gonna say, okay, then the technician's gonna come in and then you're gonna give them an intro video. Then the technician's gonna do the inspection and you're gonna send them another video. I think it's
too much.
I think we'll do a takeaway on that, Brandon.
Yeah, let's think about it. I mean, I'm not knocking it, but.
Well, I like the idea that it's the same thing every time and then you just add the work, but that's something that
I know,
corporate
like, I
can
just
take
look at it
away.
from a customer perspective, like, I would enjoy it, like, I would like that.
Yeah.
I drop my car off and
I mean, if we could do that short 15 seconds and then every inspection they do, just, becomes the first part of it and then the
Well,
second
no,
part.
just to clarify what Brandon was talking about. So if we're sending out an automated text, whenever the work is being started on the customer's car,
Your vehicle
that's a
is not
perfect place for what Brandon is suggesting.
Your vehicle has now gone in the shop.
Exactly. If your vehicle is now, if you're sending out a text saying the work on the car is started, that's a perfect place for what Brandon's saying. Because then the tech is introduced and saying, hey, my name is Joel, I'm a Red Seal technician. I'm starting work on your car right now. I will let you know what I find.
I will have another video for you for
Yeah.
an update with what we're doing today.
It's easy peasy.
Certainly worth a try. I just think that, personally myself, I think that would be too much.
Redundant.
Okay, well,
But anyway,
we'll take that away and Barry, me and Brandon can focus on it. Okay, so we're gonna go through the guild rankings, and talk about some BG stuff. So here you go, Woody.
Okay.
Here's this one right here.
Okay.
This one? Yeah.
So this is just sort of group A, and what I've done is I've broken this down. And just, some of these are just a little bit of hieroglyphics here, just because I couldn't fit everything in. But Jordan, for your customer,
Does that have any work orders he did? He did 1,171?
yes, he did 1,171 work orders. You sold 264, or 2,674 hours of work sold. Okay, at 2.2 hours, your total labor sold was 455,441. Okay, your average RO was 383.93, and your effective labor rate was at 170.3. You're right there.
Just good numbers.
Okay, the effective labor rate, guys, we need that effective labor rate to be within $5 of door rate. Now, by looking at this, I can tell very, very quickly, as well you can, as ownership can, who's using the menu or not. The menus that we built are built at a 10% higher door rate than anything else. So if you're using the menu, there's no reason in the world you're not here or above. Okay, so when I designed those door rates, I designed them at 179, and our door rate currently is 169. Okay, so that really helped DLR. Shauna, 1,308 work orders, 2,400 hours sold, 1.88. But here, if you look at your average work order, you're down. Okay, and this, once we go through this and I show you some the BG stuff, it's all gonna sort of come together and you'll figure out what we're talking about. ELR, again, and your NPS, 85 was Jordan's. Shanna, yours was 92.5. Fantastic job there. Christina, this is done a little differently. This is the CX scores. Okay, 8.9, 8.9, ease of scheduling, service advisor, awareness, fixed right the first time, cleaner, and valued time. 64.7 on since you started.
Horrible.
Okay. Bindu, since you've started with the company, which has only been a few months, here you are here at 1,000%. You've got a whole bunch of good
Nice
5-star
job.
Google reviews. Excellent. Just keep up the good work. Doing fantastic. Adam, 1,368 work orders, 2,129 hours sold at 1.56.
We got some room there, eh? Adam?
We have some room to grow.
There's no reason why, like, Kia can't be at over 2 hours,
Kia should be
2 hours per hour.
Yep, Kia should be up there as well. Okay, 350,000. Average work order, only $256. Okay?
You must have some work orders that are one-line items. That's bringing that down.
There should, first of all, there should never be a one-line work order anymore because we have an MPI line on it. So there should never be a one-line work order. But I think what's happening here is we're either discounting to try to get a job and or we're not using the schedule and the menu.
So Adam, do you want to talk a little bit about that at all? Why do you think your numbers are quite a bit lower than Hyundai's?
The menu and a lot of
You're not using the menu, or?
I try to use the menu as best as I can, as much as possible. I just don't get it with every customer.
Do you do a menu presentation with every customer? Would you say that's part of your process?
I want it to be part of my process. It's not every single customer, every single time.
Yeah, we need to ensure for all the stores that we're using it every single time. The ones that don't have the menu, you've got APS. You break down the APS, you've got your dealer recommended services, and you've got your factory services. Okay? But you gotta print it out every time. You gotta get into that habit, because that's what's gonna help you.
So this is like overall, in general, like this isn't my most recent stuff, right?
This is last year.
This is all 2025.
This is all 2025. Okay?
We just took last year's numbers, so January and February
Just
would
so
be
we-
in there.
Yeah. Now, Bindu's is year to date because you just started with us, right? We're not gonna talk about Piper Carry. 1,095 work orders. Dealer saturation rate, 4.51, which is a little bit low. We gotta get that up to about 4.75. Okay? SEI, fixed right the first time. Okay, this is the service index, so they take all their questions and sort of crunch them into one and then give you a score. Your NPS is 81.65. Okay, we've got to get up to that 84. Okay, and again, 304.27. Now the people that are in the truck business, like you guys at 100 Mile House and the Dodge store, you guys, this hours per RO is really pathetic, to be honest with you. Okay, in the truck stores and in the Chrysler stores that we have here, we should be at 3. Okay?
And,
I think
and
again,
maintaining the effective labor rate.
that's right, and maintaining the effective labor rate, exactly. But I don't think we're hitting on all cylinders when we're looking at this stuff.
I think things have changed since.
I think things are a little better over at the Dodge store for sure. You guys are, things are starting to come along, they're picking up. But I still see days where we're, it's some big numbers going through, but it's internal. It's not CP. So we've got to get the CP numbers going, and that's going to start driving this stuff. Because these are CP numbers. Now, at the beginning of the year, These are, this is your actual alignments, brake flushes, brake services, transmission flushes, coolant, fuels, mountain balance, and tire swaps. So top one is 23, then 24, 25, okay? Brake flushes. Okay, this is Kelowna Hyundai, Maple Ridge, Victoria. I've got everybody on here. Kia, 450 in 23, 266 in 25. That's huge drop. Huge drop. Brake flushes, you're pretty much flat, which is crazy because Kia's instituted what is every 24K now, isn't it, for a brake flush?
42?
We do 32 ourselves.
Okay, and for instance, Penticton Nissan is 16. Every 16K they ask for a service. And the EVs are every 15K.
I mean, there should essentially not be a single category that you're down year over year.
Exactly. We should be growing every year, and there's so many that we look at. You know, transmission flushes. What's going on, guys? You're not doing anything.
I can't speak for what happened prior years. I've only started middle of March of last year, so I don't know what was
Okay.
happening beforehand.
But I'm just saying, these are 25 numbers.
Yeah.
So you're responsible for 9 months of it. Okay, and this is what's happened. I'm not picking on you. I'm just showing overall, you look at your store, guys, we're down.
You said that was 2025, right? And
This is-
2023 and 2024. I don't understand why mine from 2025 aren't showing up there.
It's the whole store.
For Okanagan Dodge, it's the whole store. It's
Yeah.
not separate.
No, I know that, but it says 0.
The tranny flush.
Because you didn't do any tranny flushes.
I did. Oh, I sell
Not
those.
last year.
Yeah.
You didn't use the proper code then. There's a T-flush code.
Yeah. 30.
We can pull it up later and I can show you.
You can ask Tom, and
Yeah.
because I was even talking to Wiley, I want transmission pens so that they're accessible. 'Cause
If you're pulling off transmission pans, that's gonna go under a totally different code. This is transmission flush.
Yes, but
It's not a transmission flush and service.
on the Dodge trucks, the flush, the pan has to get dropped
No, it doesn't.
with the filter, because the
Doesn't.
filter is integral to the pan.
It does not have to be. It can be dropped and those guys prefer to do it that way. Okay, that's why this shows that.
Okay, that makes
Coolant,
sense.
coolant flushes, same thing. 6, we did 6 in 24, we did 3 in 25. Okay? Major fuels, we did 1 and we jumped up the whole 4. Crazy, guys. Mountain balances, 14 to 84. That's new tires. Tire swaps, decent growth, but not even near where we should be.
No, but we talk about Adams hours per RO, and you look at how many alignments they did previously, right? So if you added an alignment every 3rd, 4th, 5th RO, you know, that would juice up your hours per RO by 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, depending on how many you're doing, right? You know, 3 alignments a day would change your whole number, change the whole world.
Just even the maintenance introduction, right?
You know, and the thing that's really funny, guys, is we put on a spiff, for instance. Okay, like we did not that long ago, we put on the $10 spiff on alignments. BG put on a spiff of $5 on, I think it was brake flushes and something else, I can't remember. And all of a sudden, those sales went through the roof. The minute I stopped giving out that extra $10, alignment sales fell off the face of the earth. Why would that be? When we get something rolling, why are we continuing it? We're trying to build a habit here. That's why we're doing this. And you're going to see on the next sheet why it's so important. And actually by your actions and by what's happening and not recommending it or whatever the case is, you're going to see the ramifications of it.
Scott,
For the swaps there on the bottom lines, or
Yeah.
is that just tire swap?
Yep.
So Kelowna Hyundai's down 650?
Yep, swaps. It went from 1,470 to 996 down to 815.
And a saw that was the biggest drop I
Yeah.
saw on the page.
And then when you see the BG numbers, you're gonna be even more shocked.
Just maybe quickly go around the room, obviously Adam, not to use you as an example or anything, but it's nice to know if people are using the menu at time of write up or not. So Adam, I assume that's probably, you're not, sometimes, not all the time, you're saying? How about everybody else? Shanna, Jordan?
Yeah.
So every single customer, you could say that you're always, the menu's coming out, you can have that conversation?
I can't say every customer, anyone's in for maintenance, yes, but I sometimes miss it if they're coming in for like a diagnosis or something.
But I guess the question is, are you selling from bottom up? So are you going, service one is $300, and this is what is included in it? Or are you going, here's your oil change, here's this, here's this, here's this, here's this, here's this, and putting all these add-ons in the customer's mind? Or are you saying, okay, service one is 300, and it includes this?
Me, myself, I print out both sheets because you've got the one, the way our system's set
You've got
up
the
in
APS.
APS, you've got your left side, which gives everything.
Yep.
From 0 to 240,000 kilometers. And then on the right side, you can do your actual
Your
today-
manufacturer suggested?
Today, next service,
Yes.
and the service after, I'll prepare 3.
Yep.
And then if they were in for a recall now, and they were in for service, then typically I won't go through it, especially if they're my customer. I'm not gonna bombard them over and over and over again. If it's already been done, I leave it. But if it's in for service, it gets gone through. And
And
both
you
both sheets are provided.
And if the customer doesn't want to do any of that, are you putting them down as a deferred service? Or you just ignore it?
I'm not ignoring it, but I do give them the sheet and book it in next time. Like when I'm doing my pre-books, like we're supposed to put those on our work order now.
For your next, yeah?
If you go into my appointments that are future booked, it's already broken down and sold
Okay.
for their next service.
Okay.
And then I put pre-book at the end.
Okay.
So everything's already set up in the schedule as if it were booked for tomorrow.
That feels like a workaround a little bit.
It is a
You can't
little
do
bit
the
of a
deferred
workaround.
service follow-ups. Like, there's kind of a infrastructure built around following up on deferred services.
No, it's not, in that sense, I'm treating it as it's already pre-sold.
No,
Like
for
it's
sure,
already
but
in
6
the
months down the
customer's
road.
head.
We're talking about being able to have a deferred line that we can follow up in 20 days and say, hey, you know what, we talked about this last time you were in for your oil change, you're ready to do this now.
Yeah, in that sense, I do that. But where I'm going is with my pre-books and what I'm preparing them for next time. It's not
That's
sold,
good.
it's not a deferred
Well, just hang on, I
service.
just wanna ask a question about this pre-book. So, if you have a customer that comes in, and let's just say you recommend doing a 4-wheel alignment, they say no, you pre-book it for next time. Does that still show as a decline deferred, and will that get a reminder from the automated messages
No.
that the decline deferred? Okay, so
In
that's,
that sense,
you're subverting the system there.
if it's on the work order as a recommended service, it would get deferred.
So you just told me you didn't put it on as a recommended
No.
service. You put it on the appointment, the next appointment is a recommended service.
This is on my check-in process, is what I'm talking about, not on an open work order. And pre-booking as you're going through the next service.
I mean, you're not technically deferring it till you close the RO, right?
Yeah, no,
Like,
exactly.
You wanna make note of it to
Yeah.
say, hey, I talked to the guy about doing an alignment and he said not right now.
Yeah.
You're sending that message to the tech. It doesn't become a deferred until you close
Until
the
it's-
RO.
yeah, exactly.
The question was, are you
Deferred
deferring
line.
it at that time, or are you just booking an appointment 6 months from now and adding the alignment to it?
No, when there is an open work order and
Yeah.
it's going as a recommendation, it would get deferred.
So you are deferring. Okay.
So you are deferred.
So,
Yeah.
perfect.
Okay,
It's-
You can do both.
What I'm talking about is like on my check-in, and I'm going through the maintenance menu with them on check-in,
Mhm.
like as a part of the walk-around. I prepare them for their next service, even if we're at the 16,000 kilometer point.
Still good practice.
No, that's good.
Okay. All right, let's move along here, guys. Okay, so now we're gonna talk about some BG numbers and just some rankings and where we were based on the last several years as well. So we're gonna look at, these are 20, is this the right cheat sheet put in here?
It's the same one they used at the managers meeting.
No, this isn't the one I wanted. This is the one I wanted. No, that's not the one. This is just individual stores. We're not picking on people in the stores. This is what I want to show you guys. So Kelowna Hyundai in 2023, in BG product alone, $479,000. In 25, $372,000. We're not using the sheets, guys. There's no way in the world that we're using those sheets and selling like that. Kelowna Kia, 23, $183,000. 25, $111,000. Huge losses, guys, compared to where we were. Huge. Penticton Nissan, I think, was the only store that was up. We went from 153 to 176 to 186 in 25. Okanagan Dodge, $200,000 down to $100,000, 120K. That's money right out of you guys' pockets. That's your paycheck. You guys are giving it away.
What company is that?
What's that?
Victoria's also up.
Victoria's up, yeah. Victoria's up considerably. Woodrow's up.
Does BG, like, obviously we didn't have Okanagan Dodge in 2023.
We didn't, but they were a BG
Oh, were they?
customer,
Okay.
yes.
Is BG doing training and stuff?
BG is doing training in every single store. BG is there every, what, week, 2 weeks in your stores? Right? He's always doing training, constant. I got Ken Helps to come back out of retirement when we had that last guy that was here that was just a total slut. And I told Michelle at that time, unless you get Ken back, we probably won't be able to continue, because Will never showed up anywhere. Okay? Carrie, at your store, you should be able to just kill this. Now that Ford has accepted the BG product into their own product line.
Yeah, now we have
Okay.
the off codes in there now, so
Yep.
now we're just
So now
starting to
you
sell
should,
it.
you guys should be able to
Yeah.
rock it.
Yeah,
They've just expanded it to 3 more lines.
and we've got actual people coming from
And you've
BG.
got, Stefan will be up there every
Yeah.
2 weeks. He's committed to that every 2
Yeah.
weeks to be there.
Yeah.
And I think you guys had a pretty good training session here a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it went well.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for that. So, but guys, just, these are the numbers. So I've adjusted the targets back up. So I expect Kelowna, we gotta get back to 23 numbers. Absolutely no reason we can't get there. Kelowna Kia, same thing, we gotta get back to 23 numbers. Penticton Nissan, we're looking for about a 10% increase. Okanagan Dodge, same thing, we gotta get back to 23 numbers. And then Sunrise Ford, we're looking for about $78,000. I gave you guys a pretty good break. They had a number in there that was pie in the sky, and I just said there's no way that you guys are gonna be able to obtain that. But if we can hit the 78,000, I'd be very happy with that number for this year.
Yeah.
Okay? But I mean, you guys have more products. The Chrysler store and the Ford store, you guys have more products you could sell than the other stores. You got the diesel services, you got the EGR for the diesel EGR valves, things like that. So there's a lot of opportunities out there, guys, but you've got to use that sheet that we've given you. Okay? That's really all I've got. Any questions on anything that we've looked at?
Those sales targets aren't pie in the sky, especially for KH and Kia.
Yeah, those
You
are
guys-
not.
You guys did those numbers. Those products went across your counter. So this is not pie in the sky.
We need those numbers to be there. We didn't come up with some scientific wild-ass guess to make up those numbers. You guys were there, you guys did it before, and that was just coming out of COVID. So if we can do it coming out of that nonsense, we should be able to do it now. Okay? Questions, comments?
Okay, so we got a little group here. Break into groups. Jordan and Christina Coolant Flush. While you guys just, we're doing a contest. Someone's gonna get some money. So it's $100 each. Transmission flunch GDI fuel service. Okay? I want you guys, you're gonna present. We're gonna each do one. Okay? You guys can pick who's gonna do it between you. But everyone's going to give us a little bit of things. Wiley and Scott will go around and be the coaches. And so we'll break right now for 15 minutes. You guys can use these things on the sides. Okay? And then each group is going to present. Okay? Here's the markers.
All right, would you like to get a transmission fluid flush today? It is recommended at your current mileage to do a transmission fluid flush.
Tell me more about it.
Tell me more.
Thank you. So transmission fluid can degrade over time, less effective cooling your transmission. Dirt buildup and metal can happen in your transmission. It's one of the more expensive fixes in a vehicle, that along with an engine replacement. So maintenance versus your repairs. With your BG, did you know that BG has a warranty? So if you do your BG, it provides you a certain amount of money for a replacement if that component fails. The price of a fluid flush today would be about approximately $540. Also, how do you use your vehicle? Is it a work vehicle versus you're going to trade it in for 2 years? These are all things that you need to ask yourself as to whether or not you were to go get a transmission fluid flush today. And that's about it.
Okay, nice. Thank you.
Hi Susie, this is Christina calling from Okanagan Dodge. I thought I'd give you a few minutes. I sent out a text a few moments ago from the technician. It was a video while your vehicle was in the shop for service today. I thought I'd give you that few minutes so that you could watch the video. Just wondering if you had a chance yet. Okay, well that's good news. I'm glad you had a moment to watch it. As noted by the technician, your coolant is needing replacement. He was letting us know that it has been tested. It is contaminated, discolored, and weak. With that being said, coolant becomes compromised over time, and as it becomes compromised, it becomes highly acidic and weak. And when you're on the road, we all know in the winter months, you could lose your heat. In the summer months, you could overheat, and it's not so fun breaking down when your vehicle's overheating. I also wanted to keep you safe on the road, and the good news is that with doing a BG coolant flush, they will offer protection, which could help cover the cost of your water pump in the future. We would love to take care of this for you today. Let me know.
Awesome. Thank you.
So, hello Mr. Customer, this is Bindu, your service advisor today. And I know you're in for oil change. If you have 5 minutes, I just want to speak with you about the gasoline injection, direct injection service. I was just going through your vehicle history and I just saw that you always done all the maintenance items, whatever is recommended according to mileage and time. But you had not done this GDI fuel service. I'm not sure if somebody talked about this with you, but it's really important to get this done on time because it's as important as we clean our vehicle after every month. So what we do in this is we'll just clean the throttle body and valves. The carbon buildup, if we are driving vehicle for about like 4 to 5 years, we can say, or about 80,000, and your vehicle is almost at 80,000. And I can see that there is some carbon buildup on your vehicle as well, because it's same as the other vehicles. And if we do this service on your vehicle, it will improve your fuel efficiency and economy as well. And it's not something that affect your warranty for sure if you not get this done, but it's really important if you want to keep this vehicle for a long time to get all the maintenances done on time. And also, if you feel any kind of bad smell or something is coming, like if you're driving the vehicle at highways, that might be the reason that it needs this gasoline direct injection service. So I would recommend to have this done today if you have time, and it takes about 2 to 3 hours. And it's something that much, like I can give them the pricing, which is $349 plus taxes. And if you're planning to get this done next time, that may add on another shop supplies. If you want to save the shop supplies, it's good to have this done all together. It will save you some money as well. So being like you're protected today, I would recommend you to get this done as well. In that case, I think your vehicle will be fine for another 4 to 5 years, or maybe for another 80,000 from this service. And then they said yes.
Awesome, thank you.
Hey guys, before we get into it, I want to show you this video. I think most of you have seen it, but
Experience Kelowna Hyundai's Smart Service Center. Our advanced facilities make caring for your Hyundai vehicles effortless.
Hi Julie, welcome to Kelowna Hyundai. I'm here to help you out. All right, so I'm just gonna do a digital check-in for you, and we're gonna do a walk around for the vehicle, and then I'll let you know what kind of maintenance we're gonna do today.
Sounds good.
While we look after your vehicle, enjoy our comfortable customer lounge. Need somewhere to be? Our courtesy shuttles are available at your convenience to take you where you want to go. When your vehicle is in our care, you'll experience worry-free service from our certified staff trained in exceptional care of your vehicle, allowing you to focus on what's most important. No matter where you are, we'll provide you updates on the condition of your vehicle. Our friendly technicians will let you know when your vehicle is ready.
This is Austin from Kelowna Hyundai. Just finishing up service on your Hyundai Tucson here.
Our Hyundai Express Pay service even allows you to pay with your smartphone.
Hey Julie, great to see you again. I've got your vehicle all ready to go. I'm going to be able to walk you out. We'll get you back into your car.
Okay, sounds good.
Come on this way. Gonna go for you?
Oh, please.
So I'll give you your keys back. I've also booked your next appointment for you for 6 months from now, and we'll see you then.
Kelowna Hyundai's Smart Service Center. Enjoy your day. We'll take care of the rest.
Completely forgot I did that.
what do you guys think?
Good, very good.
I haven't seen it before.
Oh, really?
I haven't seen that one either.
So I guess the question, have you seen it before?
Yeah.
There's a lot of handshakes.
I don't know what that shrug means, but okay. Guys, this is what we want the service experience to be like. This is exactly how we want it to be. The customer books appointments, they come in, we're ready for them. They're either waiting in the lounge for the work to be done, or they go and they take off. We provide them a shuttle, or provide them a courtesy car. They get notifications while they're out that their car is being worked on. They get a tech video. They approve the work. They pay for it online. They come back. They grab the keys. It's done. This is exactly how we want it to go down.
I'm sorry, I'm not paying attention to detail, but do you guys actually have popcorn?
Yes, we do.
Really?
Yep. So, how many of you, raise your hands, are doing this?
Well, I was in the video, I'm definitely doing it.
Con was fake typing. He doesn't
I
know how to
was
type.
not.
How many of you guys are actually doing this?
Like, take your hand in order.
For the record, nobody's raising their hands. Okay? So, this is why we're having the meeting. This is what we want to happen. Okay? And it's all about preparation. So, there's customer engagement. I'm just going to focus on the personalized interactions. Okay? We're all using Komobi, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so in Komobi, I want you to focus on this column right here. Response times. These are in minutes. Okay? Penticton Nissan, 2.78 minutes response time. What do you think it's a response time to?
Customers.
Okay, but a customer what?
Replies, text messages.
A customer text message. Penticton Nissan responds in 2.78 minutes. Is that a quick time to respond to a text message?
Yep.
If you text someone and they respond in 2 minutes, okay? I know John, it's like 15 seconds. 5 minutes, Kelowna Hyundai? What's a bad response time?
Okanagan Dodge is like 15.9.
I'm not saying that that's bad.
No, it
I'm
is.
not saying that's bad. What I'm saying is, what is a bad response time for a customer to expect? If I ask you a question, how my car is doing, how long should I wait before we answer?
I think anything over 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Anything over 10 minutes? Bang, 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 bang. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stores that are 15 minutes.
That's in a community that, like all advisors together?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, I know, you guys are gonna say that's the other guys tomorrow. That's not us, right? So, 20 minutes at Kelowna Kia. If I send a text message, hey, what's happening with my car, whatever I'm saying, I have to wait 20 minutes for a reply. So, this is what Komobi tells us, guys. And I know we do all these exercises, we do this training, we all know what the right thing to do is, but are we doing it? There's a million reasons why we're not. I'm too busy, I'm this, I'm that, I get it. But that's what's happening right now. Engagement score. Again, this is all in Komobi, guys. This is not something that I'm putting together. This is Komobi telling us how you guys are communicating with the customers.
Aren't those volume of messages also on the last slide pretty low?
It depends. Depends on how many work orders they have, right?
I know, like the most was like 2,000.
Well, no, the most was
7,000.
like 7,000 or something.
Oh.
So the engagement score. Who can read that? Jordan, read that up for me.
The engagement score in Komobi measures the total number of interactions with a customer from the time the repair order is opened until it is closed. For customer pay and warranty work. Each interaction, such as sending an introduction message, receiving a reply, sending a video, estimate, status update, payment request, or thank you message, counts as 1 point towards the score. For example, if you send several messages and the customer replies to each, every message and reply is counted. If there's 11 interactions during the repair order, the engagement score will be 11. This metric helps you understand how actively you are engaging with the customers and is directly linked to the customer spending.
Does everyone understand? Okay. So, for those of us this morning that said, oh yeah, man, I'm on top of my customers, I'm sending them updates, they're getting everything, man. This was February 2026. This is March, month to date 2026. So, Kelowna Kia, you're engaging with the customer 2.64 times. Basically, that's almost a non-engagement. Penticton Nissan. Now, Penticton Nissan wasn't really on Komobi, so they're getting on it now. Again, engaging really strong. Kelowna Hyundai, not bad, engaging really strong with the customers. You guys are engaging with messages with the customers.
So that's 9 messages that
9 back and
gone
forth.
back and forth.
Correct. Yep.
How many are baked into the mix as auto sends? Like when you write up a work order and it automatically sends them a message, that's one.
It depends on how you guys have got your own store set up and when it's sending the automated message. If you've got 4 automated messages going out, then that's going to be 4 messages. If you got 2, then that's going to be 2.
2 for Kelowna Hyundai.
Right?
So Kelowna Kia's engagement is 2.64. That means that just by default, they're not automatically sending 3 messages?
Nope.
Automatically?
Nope, they're sending 2.
and we're not messaging back.
Yeah.
Okay? Remember, these are messages from our end, right? So we're not messaging back. So Penticton Nissan is, Kelowna Hyundai is, Woodgrove Chrysler is a little bit, but it goes down from there. So what this chart is telling us, guys, is that, now please don't misunderstand, if you're calling them and getting a hold of them, great.
I just put that note to myself, stop calling people and use Komobi more.
Okay, but here's the thing. We're not saying this is the only metric that we're gonna judge you by, but I will say this. What takes longer? Do you have time to spare in the day? You guys all have time to spare? Are you like, geez, I got nothing to do for the next hour?
For me, responsively, I find it's hit and miss. Some customers are really quick at texting back, but some are quicker at answering the phone.
Could be.
So Perry, I use Komobi all the time. Even when I'm like following up with 6-month customers, I'm constantly chatting through Komobi. And if we send a tech video and then I send a quote for every RO that's coming in, but that's automatically 2. Yep. 3 is the initial when you check it in and I open up that RO, you get a message right away, you respond, well that's 2.
Mm-hmm.
I send a video and a quote, that's 4. Mm-hmm. Something's not jiving. Something's not making sense.
Keep in mind, it is your whole team, right? So you gotta think about what's Melvin doing, you know,
What's Shay
if Shay's getting a few messages.
Shay's right.
Yeah, this isn't specific to you guys, this is
No.
specific to your store.
Yeah, you also got appointments.
Okay?
You've got
Sounds like we're only
follow-ups.
talking to them 2 or 3 times once. Like,
Exactly. That's the whole point of
And
the
one of them's
engagement.
automated.
If you take out your automated messages, again, I'm not there. You could be calling every single customer and doing a fantastic job. I'm just saying. What we talked about this morning, everyone is engaging with the customer. That's not showing through at most of the stores. We're not engaging with them. And we all agreed that texting is more efficient and better for the customers this morning. So we all knew that at the start of the meeting, but it's not what we're doing. Okay? I've got 15, 20 years of telling John bullshit, like, yeah, man, I'm on top of this, I'm good, I got this. Okay? But John will call me up, well, I don't see the results. So, again, if you're calling, great, but that's costing you time. Waiting for them to answer the phone, dialing, ringing, it's costing you time, okay? Do we know what this is? Again, this is based on your store, it's not based on you personally. So, the ones we care about, oh, I didn't highlight those ones, I apologize. The ones we care about are percent of ROs with the video sent. What that means is, if you send the same customer 4 different videos, I'm gonna count that as 1, okay? So I wanna know how many ROs your dealership did and how many of those ROs had at least 1 video sent. So, Victoria Hyundai, 75, Maple Ridge, 80%. This is December of 2025. March of 2026, okay? 52% went down. As a group, we dropped.
It's not happening very often at Okanagan, eh? Video sent?
I don't know what's going on, I can't speak to everybody else, I can do what I can to get mine through. I think,
So,
I know, our Komobi was having problems February and March with videos.
I know there was an issue with Komobi syncing with PBS, but I believe I had pulled this data
Yeah, I
prior to
think
that
so.
happening.
Yeah.
Either way, as a group, we're going in the wrong direction. As a group, we're at 59%. February 66, 64, 61, 65. So, we all know the right thing to do, but we're not doing it. There's nobody that's a superstar here. And we want to get that customer engagement. Why do we want that customer engagement? Indy, why do we want that customer engagement?
so that they know like what's going on in the shop, and if we are engaging the customers by sending them videos, by sending them texts, then in that way they know like what's happening when they just left their vehicle with us. And we are trying to send them text messages like we always did, and I think we prefer calls more. That's what I'm thinking in Okanagan Dodge. Just try to call the customer if we want to sell anything, or if we want to talk, if we want to give any update. But we'll try to do texting more.
Guys, again, I am not saying you must text over call. What I'm saying is, it is more efficient to text. I've had like 5, 6 phone calls since we did this meeting this morning. I didn't answer a single one of them. I'm more likely to respond to a text, especially if I'm busy. Hey, I can't talk right now, I'm in a meeting.
That wouldn't affect this metric anyway.
No, I know. That's not what this is about. But anyways, but the whole point is texting buys you time. Well, I shouldn't say buys you time. It saves you time. You can do other things instead of waiting for someone to answer the phone. Your guys' time is probably the most constricted of any position in a dealership. I'm going by how often we answer the phones. The service department does not answer the phones, as we just found out earlier today. Why do you think they're not answering the phone? Is it because they don't care to, or is it because they're busy? They're not answering the phone because they're busy. We want them to answer the phone, but they're busy. So we should be doing things that save us time but still achieve the customer engagement that we want. Sorry, Adam, were you raising your hand?
No, sir. No.
Okay. No. Sir? Okay. Yeah. So what these videos do, and just to kind of recap what Bindi was saying there, better the engagement, the higher the customer satisfaction, the more money you make on your ROs. It's that simple. Okay? This column over here is going to tell you your lift on your videos. Okay? So if you have a video of, let's just pick someone here, videos seen versus sent, right here. We go to all this trouble to make a video, we send it to the customer, we got to make sure they've seen it. Kind of defeats the purpose if they're not. So what should this number seen versus sent be? If you send someone a video, what do you want that number to be?
100%. You want the customer to see it.
So, seen versus sent, 85%. You want 85% of your customers to see it. Is anybody in 85% here? No. Okay. Strong, 80%. Is anyone 80%?
Yeah.
I guess Kelowna Hyundai is. Developing, third world nation, developing nation. Anyone at 70?
We're close.
Who's close?
Okanagan Dodge is at 67.
67? Okay. Needs support, less than 70. So one store is doing it to the benchmark, everyone else needs help. You guys had said this morning, I called the customer, let them know they got a video coming. Those are your results. What do you think?
Everybody can improve.
Huh?
Everybody can improve.
Everyone can improve. Or, something I'm guilty of myself, not as good as I think I am. Okay? Delete that part, curse it. Anyways, so
Making a highlight reel.
we want to make sure, guys, that we're exercising the process or executing the process as much as we can. At the end of the day, we're tired, whatever, everything's going on. We think we did a great job. We all do. There's no one that thinks they did a bad job. But these numbers aren't going to lie. Okay? You want to get a better hours per hour row, higher customer pay, you got to make sure they saw the video. And that's why I asked that question this morning. Do you guys talk to the tech? What if the tech is making a shitty video and you're sending it to the customer? Who do you think it hurts? It hurts you. If you send them a shitty video, it's hurting you. John, I know you're timing me. I get it.
No, I'm not actually. I'm enjoying this.
Okay. You're the one that's gonna have egg on your face if you send them a shitty video. So you gotta make sure that the tech is doing a good video and is gonna help you sell that product. Any questions on this? So, this is when I could figure the best store was. Woodgrove Chrysler. I can't tell you the headache, the heartache, the angst it took to get Woodgrove Chrysler going on this. And now they are the best store. Kudos to Guy, kudos to Darren, kudos to Smith. They're the best store at this, guys. Okanagan Dodge, or sorry, Woodgrove Chrysler, my apologies. Their video times, 1 minute, 1 minute 4 seconds, 1 minute 5 seconds, perfect time. Great timing, okay? They're a little bit low on the scene versus scent that we all saw. Everything else is green. Everything else is green. I think this one was Kelowna Hyundai. Not bad. Kelowna Hyundai, decent job. Con lost his title. Con's got to get his title back. But Kelowna Hyundai is doing a decent job. Oh, I guess, sorry, I thought I had one more when I went to each store. So the whole point here, guys, is with this engagement with the customers, the text messaging, the videos, the seen versus sent, the CP average lift, you guys have got to be looking at those numbers. Because at the end of a 15-day or busy day after you've done 15 ROs, 20 ROs, service customers, you got to track that and you got to know how you're doing. That's on you guys. Don't say the numbers are wrong. Those are right from the system. It sees exactly what you do. This is the best way for you to put more money in your pocket, get better CSI, get better customer engagement, and you get much better customer retention. They're gonna come back. And that's what we're after here, guys. So do you guys have any questions on this? Who's challenging that? Oh, go ahead.
I'm not challenging it, but so would it be safe to say that if I close an RO down before a video sent, it's not going to count it as a sent video?
Nope.
So the video has to be sent before the RO is closed?
You close it, if the RO is closed and you haven't sent a video, it's going to show no video.
Even if the video's been sent after the fact.
Well, let me ask you a question. Why are you closing a RO before the video is sent? That usually means that the customer has already paid and everything like that, so you've lost your chance for the upsell.
No, there's a few warranty pickups where I've sent the video after the fact.
Okay.
So, yeah, completely.
What's the
That's why I'm using myself as a guinea pig.
Well, let me ask you a question. What's the purpose of the video?
Just for their viewing pleasure.
No, it is not for their viewing pleasure.
I actually say
It's not
that in some of
Netflix
my
and chill
chats.
buds. It's not for their viewing pleasure. It is to inform them. It's to show them that we are professional in maintaining their car. It is to inform them of the status of their car. It's professionalism all the way around. The more professional we appear to the customer, the more likely they're going to spend money with us because we're professionals. If we appear sloppy, send them a shitty video, they're not going to want to spend money with us because we're not professional. Okay? I will pay more to get good service than to get quick service. We all do it. We pay more in a restaurant, we pay more for wine, we all do it. Okay? That's the purpose of the video. That's the purpose of the engagement. More professional, you get your credibility. Okay? Any other questions? Okay, that's all I got.
Okay, 10-minute break, guys. We'll be back here at 2:15, or 2:20, I guess it is.
Every customer gets a proper needs assessment. Every RO has an inspection and a tech video follow-up to make sure the customer watches the video, and every guest is updated using the 10-12-2 rule. sold customers and profits do not increase when you try hard, they increase when you follow a professional process. So this is what we really wanted to, like I said, I'm pretty excited about the team, and you know, I look at all your guys' data and numbers, and you know, your CSI scores and everything. So I mean, we've never had a team like this, so now it's just at the start when we talked about the excellence, like pursuing excellence. So it's kind of like going from good to great. That's what we're trying to accomplish today. So I think I'm hoping like you obviously got a couple things that you know you can take back with all the presentations, and you know, when we are presenting, we're presenting, you know, as and we're framing it as caring for the customer and you know, stuff like that, right? So last little exercise, going to give some money away. I want you guys to come up with in your own stores. So we're going to put you in groups again. Give me something that we can do to wow the customer right now. Come up with the best idea to wow the customer. Okay? Those are your teams. So again, we'll get Con to be the coach of Group A. We will get Wiley to be the coach of Group B. We'll give Scott Jackson to be the coach of Group C. So we'll take 15 minutes. I just want a wow idea, guys. You guys are in the stores every day. Think about how we can wow a customer. Something can be big or small that we can do. Maybe give them popcorn. I don't know. But come up with some ideas, brainstorm. We'll take about 10-15 minutes, and then you'll all present, and then we're going to be out of here. Okay? Yeah, you go.
So my the wow factor that we've come up with, that I personally do myself at Kia, is a personal thank you video. Through Komobi, after every RO, when I'm shutting down for the night, I will stay a little bit time after hours to make sure that I personalize and send a video to every one of my customers, thanking them for their business and the continued support at Kelowna Kia. And if they ever have any questions or any doubts, don't ever hesitate to reach out to me. The response from that is amazing. It doesn't cost $1. It costs a little bit of my time, but I'm already at work doing my job. So to add that little bit of wow factor, I find goes a long way, and it's a great support, especially using Komobi that we already use as a tool.
Nice. Wow. Good. Thank you.
Into a little bit as of recently is just personalized thank you cards. Very short and simple, but before you pull the vehicle around front, you just leave a little thank you card. We appreciate your business. Thank you for coming in with your name. Let them know to reach out to you if they have any concerns. Even as you walk them out to the car, you can say, oh, I left you a little thank you card just to say we appreciate your business. My name is on there. If you have any questions, you know who to call. And then we also had a couple minor ideas of possibly doing it as a air freshener instead. Of course, it's expenses. You can't give it to every single customer, but there are certain people that you want to wow a little bit more. New customers, people who maybe had a bit of a bad experience last time, or just some people you really want to go out of your way for.
Nice. I like it.
Whenever you're ready.
Of course. I was like, you should all.
All right. Okay. Our wow factor is, well, it is not a gimmick. It is the process. Go figure. Best thing to do to wow somebody is just wow them from start to finish. Got your beginning, middle, and end. So at the beginning, just come out with a professional greeting, say hello, give them a handshake, have that positive energy, have that menu ready, be prepared, go over everything with them, set expectations when it comes to time frame, pricing, and then book them a shuttle. Let them know everything that's going to be happening from start to beginning, or finish, I mean. In the middle, simple. Give them an update, right? Send them a tech video. Give them a clear estimate, very transparent. You make sure the numbers are all correct. And then obviously going over the importance of the recommended services. So what that means to me is, you know, the stuff that is going to be important, do that stuff first. The safety items, do that stuff first. If there's a bunch of brakes on there, suspension items, those are what I want to focus on versus doing, you know, maybe a brake fluid flush. Do you want to get everything? Of course you want to get everything, but what you want to do is work on the safety items first, and if you want to get the other stuff, just leveling everything, what's important and what's not. At the end, obviously we want to wow them by having all that paperwork ready, vehicles washed, having the keys ready to go, explaining the work order thoroughly, all the pricing, make sure there's no surprise, right, which is really nice. answer any questions that they have, ask them for some feedback, walk them out to the vehicle, right? And then of course, give them another handshake and talk about the survey, 9 out of 10, etc.
Nice, well, nice.